You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Excited because cricket here is a big thing. So
Well, we're here at the coin toss, and they just made the coin toss over here next to me at Church Street Park, making a little concession about who's going to win the toss. And it looks like the Fort Lauderdale Lions have won the toss. I'm going to ask Dajner and Chandrapal to come here. Daj, you've won the toss. What have you elected to do?
I think we're going to have a bat first.
What was the thought process behind having a bat first?
The wicket looks hard, so hopefully we get some runs.
Yeah, first game of the season, what are you looking for your boys?
Well, we just want to get a good start and get into the season.
Awesome. Well, good luck today, sir. I'm going to ask Trevin Griffith, didn't win the toss today, but had you have won the toss, what would you have liked to have done?
I think we would have wanted to bowl first. So I think we get what we wanted to do. So fine.
So first game here in Morrisville, back at home. What are you looking forward to? How excited are you to be back here at Church Street Park?
I'm really excited because cricket here is a big thing. So I think all the guys are very pumped up. We have home support. I think we should be good fun, good conditions. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, good luck today. All right, well, there you heard it in the middle. We are live, and we've seen two deliveries here, and it's Christopher Barnwell starting things off with Dajner and Chandrapal at the striker's end. Obviously, the pro slip in place, and we'll see ball number 3. And no runs on offer yet. Haven't missed any of those. Nate, it's a good start here. The Morrisville Raptors, I think, would have been surprised by the decision from the Fort Lauderdale Lions to win the toss and to bat first.
Well, we got a fast start and a slow start at the same time. 3 balls, no runs, but we kind of jumped the gun on the start a little bit. Couldn't wait to get into the game. It's kind of like in the video game when you skip halftime and the commentators say, well, we got to get right to it. Well, that's what happened here.
Inside edge, it'll run towards the boundary. It's a quick outfield, and it will be the first runs. Music came out early, but it was never going to be stopped there. That's 4 runs off the bat of Dajner and Chandrapal. Edgy, but they got it.
Hey, sometimes lucky is better than good, and right now we've got Taj Chandrapal in the middle. He's lucky and good right now.
Yeah, Chandrapal obviously very, very experienced, you would know, as he's played cricket all around the world, and you see it right here. Barnwell, some little movement back in to the left-hander, and that's the key for me. I had a look at this wicket earlier. A lot of green grass on it. This one, outside edge, cries of catch it. It'll be away from the fielder. So an edgy start for Chandrapal, but he's picked up 6 runs so far.
Oof. A little bit of bad luck for Barnwell, but you got to feel pretty good about how the ball's moving off the wicket early on.
Yeah, plenty of good swing, and this is why we were surprised to see the Lions win the toss and choose to bat first, because there is some green grass, you have good pace bowlers, and in the nighttime here at Church Street Park is a day night, that dew sets in, it becomes better for batting, so really feels like a miss, but maybe the experienced Chandrapal knows something that we don't. Shout from Barnwell, I think there was some bat on it, but it was a good over from Barnwell. He's just given up the 6 runs off of those couple edges. 1 over gone, 6 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, we're in for the second over. It's Rajanan with the ball, and it'll be Isaiah Raja who will get themselves his first action. It's 2 left-handers for the Lions. Slip in place even with the lefty, turning it back into him. And just pushed down the ground. And so Raja gets off the mark. Are you surprised to see Rajanan in, even with the 2 left-handers?
I don't know. I think the way that he can put a little extra zip on it, I think he can bowl pretty well in the power play to just about anybody. He gets that arm ball. We'll see how that works out. But I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I thought maybe Guranchu Sharma might have seen himself high, in the opening spot, can bat up top of the order, but they've looked at the two lefties and a very experienced core. We'll mention and talk about the Fort Lauderdale team in a second. This one's brilliantly played off the sweet spot. It's running towards the boundary. Fielder has a lot of work to do, but it's Trevin Griffith who's the fielder, and he's going to be able to do that work. Really a staple of his game, how good he is in the field.
This Raptors team is going to have to use that hustle in this division. Right now they're in first place, which is kind of a surprise to a lot of folks. But they're going to need that hustle. They're going to need that work ethic out there. And Trevon is definitely going to bring that to this team.
Yeah, and for the Raptors, they played a lot on wickets that aided the spinners in Atlanta. So this is a new challenge for them as well as the Lions. And that's just really well played. It's really smart batting. That's with the turn as well, just out in to long on.
Yeah, I think maybe that one might have been a little bit more full than you'd want to. He was able to take away any potential turn off of that.
And this field set, it is that long on and deep mid wicket. So there's plenty of gaps to be picked playing with the spin. Unable to pick one that time. That's good. And again, that was a little bit shorter and ramped into him.
A little bit flatter. That's what I was expecting from Rajnan from the first ball, but we didn't get that. But you got it right there. We do see that on this ground. Bowlers spin early.
It doesn't seem like it's turning much, just going on with the arm. This is good, though, from the experienced campaigner. Has to be quick, but again, this intent is very vital at Church Street Park, especially when boundaries aren't flowing.
Nice throw in, too. It looked like George Baldwin there, throwing that one in. He's got a lively little arm there. We're a lively big arm. Let's see how that translates. That ought to inform the running here.
Yeah, but the running's been good, Nate. They've picked their areas very well to find their runs, and again, they're just stroking these around the ground, not pushing too hard. This could be interesting. Don't want to run on Trevin Griffith, but a good over for the Fort Lauderdale Lions nonetheless. No boundaries coming from it, but they get 7 runs, 2 gone, 13 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
All right, we're back here at Church Street Park. It's going to be the 3rd over now, and 13 runs on the board. Continuing is Christopher Barnwell. We'll see what kind of swing he can get with some grass in the wicket. Wide signal there from the umpire.
Ooh, that is a tough one, I think. He just missed the end of the bat. That is a tight zone.
But you like to see this one more, so Raptors. You're seeing early swing, and for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, again, a toss where they won. They elected to bat. Interesting decision on this track. Again, because of that sideways movement, we expect to see pretty consistently. This one traps him on the pads and no run available. This is tight from Barnwell. You see his first over went for 6 runs, but I think that's unfair to him. A couple of edges led to those runs.
There was not good bat on ball in that over at all. As I said, Shiv got a little bit lucky there. He got lucky twice with his 6 runs from 6 balls. How big is Barnwell as an addition to this team?
Yeah, we always talk about the pace bowling. We'll get back to this after that delivery. It's going to be, no, not signaled wide for height. It's, umpire said, it stayed in a decent position. Yeah, Barnwell is such a big factor in this pace bowling attack because you think back to the Raptors' best years, you think about 2022. Oh, they did give it a wide in the end. You think back to 2022, the fact that their best run came when they had that premier pace bowler in Colin Archibald. He provides that here after a lack of it in 2023. Off the bat, down the ground, and this one will run all the way to the boundary. It's good intent here from the Lions. They've just seen it They've had enough of it. They're starting to use their feet and cut the swing.
Yeah, great shot there by Raja. And as you said, Barnwell, a big addition to this team with the ball. We know how good he is with the bat. In 2021, he was a finalist for league MVP. He was definitely a front runner for that award.
But Raja making things happen now with the bat. And just a little dab down. No run on offer, though. And that's the experience of Barnwell. You could see him pull the length back on that occasion and not give him the room to just swing his hands to the line of the ball. But I like the intent so far from the Lions. They've put themselves in a tough situation to bat, but you can see they're looking to pick singles and then hit the odd boundary.
Barnwell here prodding around. We've seen a little bit of everything from him this over as far as line and length. Better than the rest. Straight down the ground. I think that's one bounce over the rope for 4, and Isaiah Raja, he's turning it on right now at Church Street Park. I'll tell you, this is how you answer somebody of his class with a lefty, with a couple of lefties here for Lauderdale. Great shot. Excellent shot.
And again, it's the use of the feet that make that shot possible. He's moving down towards Barnwell, using that to cut the swing and cut the sideways movement. This is just intelligent batting from the Lions. This one on the pads says no, but good adjustment there. Pulled that length back.
Looked like it was a little bit up, a little bit high, going over the stumps. I think that was a good call there by the umpire.
But you can see the thinking from Barnwell there. He's seen Raja come down the track twice, so he says, all right, I'm going to pull it even further back and dare you to play on your crease.
Just enough pace there. Getting away with that for sure. Good plan here.
How about this? It's Isaiah Raja's over, and we're all just living in it. That's the third 4, and that was sweetly struck.
Great stuff there. Excellent from Raja. We got 27 without loss after 3, and it looks like Trevon is bringing himself in.
Well, Nate mentioned it. We're going to see some off spin now. It'll be Trevon Griffith, and we saw in Atlanta them experiment with an off spinner. It was John Campbell that he used down there at the Buttermere Sports Complex. Now he's brought himself on. What do you reckon the reason he's bringing himself and not John Campbell?
Well, I think he thinks that he can limit things here a little bit with his experience, and also, you know, with the right arm to the left arm batters. I don't think he wants any more runs.
Well, still those 2 fielders in the deep on the leg side. It's a long on, and now a deep backwards square. So reckon he's going to be fuller in length. Just pushed into the offside, and got themselves a run in the end as well. But again, intelligent batting here. It doesn't seem like these batters are going to fall for any of these plans here. They're just looking to play their game.
Yeah, they're counting on, they can run. Chanderbal can move, so that's not an issue.
This one looks straight, looks very straight and given. We just talked about how they weren't giving anything to the Morrisville Raptors, and now they've given this off a full toss.
Excellent delivery here. Yorker length right on the toe. Looked completely plumb from up here. Great, that's what you want, right? That's what you want if you're Trevon. You're bringing yourself in. You think you're as the batter, you're probably thinking he's going to use the surface a little bit more, try to get it to turn away, and he goes with basically a Yorker right at the toes.
Well, there you go. That'll be the Fort Lauderdale Lions, 28 for 1 now.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
And the captain brought himself on and brought on a wicket, and now it'll be the right-handed Garanshu Sharma, who we thought we might see opening the batting. He was in Philly last year. Nate, what can you tell us about Garanshu?
Well, he's from New York. He's, like as you mentioned, he's been all over the league. A good domestic player. He's played for USA in the past. Let's see if he can give them some stability here and just turn it over to Chanderpaul for a while and let Chanderpaul rack it up.
And I'm interested in the approach because we saw it was Raja who was the aggressor of the two. What does Sharma play into this? Pushed into the onside. They'll find a couple of runs or just one to bring back out Thudge to strike, and he's been off strike for quite some time, and be curious to see now how he looks to play it. He's lost the more aggressive partner, but he's got himself in. He's seen a couple of deliveries, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of turns, so you can play through the line here.
And if you're batting 3 in T20, there's some aggression expected from you too. So
pulls out of it. Chanderpaul. I had this conversation with Faisal Shah last week. These cricketers, they're always so particular with how they want everything to be set up. This is a particularly great shot. It'll run all the way to the boundary for 4, into out over covers. No better sign.
Well, it looks like Chanderpaul's going to step it up a little bit here. Look at this. Overpitched, he doesn't miss it. He makes up his mind early. Great shot. As you can see, fans starting to roll in, having to dodge the balls already.
Straight down. Could have been a chance for Trevon Griffith. He'll feel like it was one. He's put it down, and it would have been a spectacular one-headed take had he taken it. But my goodness, Trevon Griffith nearly pulled off a stunner.
Almost. He got a hand on that one. That was an excellent job. We saw a little bit of that last night in the CPL. A couple of balls coming right back. One of them made the umpire dive out of the way.
Little tuck into the onside. Smart batting from the lines. They're going to push for 2. And they'll get it as well. This is just good running. Again, it's good cricket in the end of it. When you're not scoring boundaries, find a way to score these singles. That'll close out the 4th over. It's 36 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, more pace on the ball for the Raptors, but it'll be new pace on the ball. Abhiram Bolasetti, who played his first game for the Raptors this season in the last matchup in Atlanta last weekend, and he took a wicket on his very first delivery. He's now in to the left-hander.
One of the joys of minor league cricket, one of the joys of being here in Morrisville is seeing a guy like Abhiram Bolasetti coming up, growing, making the USA U19 team in 2021. His younger brother's also very good, tough young cricketer. But as you see, he's about to deliver a ball here to young Saharsh Swathan here. Another youngster coming up through the system here. This is a really good moment if you're from Morrisville.
Well bowled there. Again, some slight movement across the left-hander. This is good. This is good young signs, and it's good confident length also from Abhiram.
Great length. I mean, you saw Taj was just a little bit off of that ball. Imagine how good that's going to do for Bolasetti's confidence if he can take a wicket like this.
Yeah, and you see Thudge on your screen there. He's been in for a while, but he hasn't got that real flow going yet. We saw the one brilliant shot last over, but he's looking to be more aggressive now. Gets bat on ball, but well stopped by Trevon Griffith. This is what Trevon Griffith does so well. He's so phenomenal in the field. He always saves runs, and Nate Hayes, you have something to say about that one.
Whoa, I love that. We love a good diving play here. That was tremendous. Well, that's what you're getting with Trevon Griffith. You're not just getting experience, good with the bat and with the ball. You're getting great effort. You're getting good athleticism, getting wonderful plays in the field. He's one of the most experienced players in the USA. And, man, he's really benefiting the Raptors here, who he's had to captain this season with the loss of their captain from last season. Dane Pete.
And what that does now, it puts a little bit more pressure on Thudgeonrine. He's faced 2 dot balls to start the over. And again, beating him there again is Abhiram Bolasetti. He's just looked so good so far. It's really been an issue for Abhiram. It's the lines in which he bowls that have been his biggest struggle in minor league cricket. 55 wides across the first 3 seasons, and it's a lot, right? That's where he struggles to find consistency. If he does this for the Raptors, it's, you know, the stock is rising for him and this Morrisville side.
That's right. If he's working around that piece of paper size area and he's not going down the leg, we're going to see great things from him.
There we go. We might have just put that on him, and they're going to sneak by 1 as well. Yeah, we probably just put that jinx upon him, but I think also Thudgeonrine Chandrapal has caused that wide as well. You see him just slightly move further. Abhiram is just trying to push it away, but that's also attentive running from the Lions. They've seen the extra. They're going to capitalize.
I don't think that was too bad of a delivery there. I really don't think it was too bad. I mean, it just shows his intent. It shows that Abhiram is aware of what's happening. He's aware of what Thudgeonrine is trying to do, and he's trying to counter him here late. Somebody who's very good at that in the USA is Saurabh Netravalkar, who's very good at waiting for a batter to move and then following him and getting the ball right where he needs to. You got to start young when you're doing that. Bolasetti, I don't mind that ball at all.
We'll be operating to the right-hander. He's got to slip in place now. Starts on the legs and just beats Sahar Shwet. And there was a couple of noises. I think it just was pad. We'll wait for the umpire's signal on this. And yeah, it gives it leg byes, but again, nice and sharp from the young man.
Good stuff. He got a little bit of lucky with that, hitting the thigh pad, I think.
But it's to his field also, Nate. He's got a deep mid-wicket for the right-hander, so he's angling things in to the right-hander. That's the express plan there.
Yeah, it's a good plan. The question is, when you have a bowler who tends to miss with their line and you have a lefty-righty partnership, it really puts a lot of pressure on that bowler to bowl a good ball every time.
Well, just 3 runs from the first 4 deliveries here. And finally bat on ball. They'll have to sneak it quick. Fumble will allow them to get it, and they'll come back for an easy 2. No, it's attentive there. Nearly walked his way into a run out there, Thudgeonrine.
Ooh, there was 2 runs there to be had. I think when you're looking at the back of a player, then you got to get 2 runs. When you're looking at the back of a fielder like that.
I think it would have been tight anyway because Rajasthan, it didn't miss him by much, and it was more so the fact that you saw
the early hesitation.
Sharma hesitate early. He didn't get off the blocks hot, so that would have been real close there. And again, Sharma at least had the wits about him to call it off. But here we go, final delivery of this 5th over. Still that slip in place. Quick single taken, but a good over for the Morrisville Raptors in the power play. If you're only giving up those 4 runs, then you'll be happy with that. Make it 5 with the wide. It'll close out what was a very good 5th over for the Morrisville.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Rajanan beats him straight up there. This is the matchup for Rajanan. He's got the right-handed Garanshu Sharma. This is why Trevon Griffith's gone back to him.
Yeah, I like this. I think this is a good move. I'm curious to see how he's going to approach this.
Yeah, you can see it's flat, it's tight. There's not a lot of room to go for Garanshu Sharma. Can't play those expansive drives, and big thing here for me, it's the last over of the power play. It's that kind of deciding over in a lot of these T20 matches. And no runs coming off the bat, Nate. This is really good from the Raptors.
And I think that ball had runs on it if he had, struck it a little bit better, if he had anticipated a little bit better. It was a little more full than the delivery before.
It's just, you're always thinking defensive with a guy like Rajan Nunbol.
Exactly.
He's just got so much pedigree. You're not in a state of mind to where you feel as if you're going to get that loose delivery. So you almost caught yourself on the back foot thinking that, oh man, I got to just fend the ball away. And again, on the back foot, he's caught there. This is, again, just sharp stuff from the man they've picked up. This is why the Raptors needed Rajan. That's why they've got him over from the East. He's come here, and he's been such a factor. Just a single into the onside, but 4 balls gone, rather, and you've seen just 1 run.
Oh, they threw it away, and they're getting another run out of that. They threw it away. Oh, that's tough. A little bit of sleepiness there. But they tried to toss it back to Raj, and he wasn't watching right then.
Looks like it was Sanjay Stanley. Remember how that costly drop on Friday's game?
But now you get the righty back in at least.
There you go. So maybe silver linings here with Nate Hayes.
Ooh.
And it's just another tick into the onside. So now 3 runs come off of another really good over for the Morrisville Raptors. They've owned the power play so far. 6 overs gone. It's 44 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So the Morrisville Raptors have closed out this power play, and you say that they were ahead of the match at the moment. Projected score only 147. Feels like conditions are going to get better to bat. We know that at Church Street Park, that under the lights things do get better. But with only 1 wicket down, what do you think the approach is now for the Fort Lauderdale Lions?
Well, we know the middle overs here are really crucial. You could lose a lot of wickets fast. It's one thing that's very hard to do in the middle overs here is score at a quick rate. So I think if you're Fort Lauderdale here, you're going to want to go at about 6 to 7 and over. I think for a little while, navigate, save your wickets, and then come on strong in the last 6.
It's Bolasetti back into the attack. Starts angling in to the bowler, to the batter rather, and one thing I think that'll help the Fort Lauderdale Lions in this middle period is the fact that they've been so willing to drop the ball down and take 1, take 2.
Right.
Right, with field spread out, now you have those 5 fielders outside the ring, and you have those 5 fielders outside the ring. Now you have the opportunity to hit more gaps, and the Lions have shown the ability to do that and find runs on the ground.
And this is where the fielding for Morrisville is gonna come in. We can't have those overthrows that go 2 run to turn a single into 2. And I think right now, if you're Fort Lauderdale in this particular over, you got Bolasetti in there, and you're gonna get a lot of spin soon. I think maybe you're going to want to try to go big this over. I think you want to get some runs on the board.
Looking to go big. It's just beaten Sahar Shwetan. It was an awkward bounce for him. Would have been terrific, but it'll just be a couple of runs. That's the desperation, though, right now out of this Fort Lauderdale Lions team. They're trying shots like this. That's not a natural shot for Thajjan Chanderpaul. It's one he's had to add to this game.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one here. Boom. Oh, he did get bad on that one. That was 2 runs. Yep. I mean, what do you do when you're the wicketkeeper when that happens? That's a tough one.
Yeah, always difficult in the end. They'll pick up 2, but this is how hard run scoring's been so far for the Lions. They haven't found the real rhythm. Advancing, and it'll be a wide. You can see he spotted the movement. It's what's forced him to go outside, but you can't afford that.
Yeah, wide on line there, but that might have been wide on height anyways. It was looked like it went a little bit over the batter's head from here. But yeah, we need to cut these out, Abby. You can't afford to bowl these wides, I think, especially in this over right now when you're about to get into your spin attack.
But I like the intent from Thajjan. This is the experience. He's understood that he's going to put the young man under pressure by moving about his crease, coming towards him, and doing things of that nature.
Absolutely, I really do. Ooh.
Hit down the ground. Fielder in place, but it'll go over him. No, it's taken. Well done in the end. Abhiram Bolasetti, he gets
Adi
the
Padala.
young man. It's Adi Padala out in the deep. And there you go. The young man's pumped up, and so are the Morrisville Raptors.
Oh man, as I said before, what will this do for his confidence, getting a batter like this? Excellent stuff there. Great catch. Got Adi Padala. You know he's a good fielder. Like I said before, this is going to do great things for Abi Bolasetti's confidence, taking a batter like that. This is a huge wicket in the context of the game. 48 for 2 right now. Fort Lauderdale is going to have to move along with. Looks like they're bringing in Kevin Stout.
Well, Nate called for it. Kevin Stout is the man they bring in. He's known for what he does with the ball. He led the Atlantic in wickets, but now it's going to be him with the bat as his captain was missed with the previous delivery.
Kevin Stout, good all-around cricketer. Scored 158 runs last season.
And we'll get off the mark straight away as this one's just pushed down the ground. But for Abhiram Bolasetti, how big is that wicket for his development? It's a confidence booster, right? Every moment seems to be a test for him, and to pass that test, it's a big deal.
Oh, and he's a confidence player too. We know that when Abhiram Bolasetti is confident, he does great things. He plays very good cricket when he's confident. He's incredibly competitive. This is huge. Early in the season to perform like he's been doing, I think it's good things for this team.
Well, you see Abhiram Bolasetti again. That wicket is huge because for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, they're just not able to capitalize on starts so far. 2 batters in, 2 batters out. Picked up and in just to no man's land. Didn't really get any real bat on it. But this is just phenomenal. Again, for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, we've talked about it. They have 2 batters who were in the middle for a while, started to get things going. Chandrapal was 20 off 19. Raja was 14 off 9. And just seemingly found their wickets gone right after it seemed that they were going to pick things up.
Yeah, about 50 runs at this point. It's not a bad thing, I think, on this ground. I think we've seen a lot of 130, 140 defended here, even though it is a batting second ground.
Yeah, that's the key. It's going to get better to bat on. So what is that target that you're looking for the Lions? Wide on the offside. You can see him try to roll the fingers over that one. But you see there, the Fort Lauderdale Lions batters, Kevin Stout and company, what are they looking at? What is their keys for the game? Nate, what are you saying, if you're in the middle, what is your game plan?
Well, I think Kevin Stout, he last season he didn't go at a very high strike rate. I'm sure he's capable of a lot more. Last season we didn't see the greatest wickets in the South. So I think right now it's just recover, get the scoreboard ticking, take advantage of those singles, like you said, put pressure on the field.
Gets off the pads and no run on offer. He was looking to come down the track and attack Bolasetti. Bolasetti followed him, cramped him for room, and another good over for the Morrisville Raptors. A big wicket of Dajnarai Chandrapal. 7 gone, 51 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, spin into the attack. This time it's a leggy with the 2 right-handers in there. Makes sense. It's Adi Gupta there, center of your screen. Nate, he's kind of come back to life for this Morrisville Raptors side.
Well, he's always been an incredible, immense talent. He has great power, and he's got, he's just very good with the ball too. But let's see how he does here. First ball.
Starts short and gets away with it there, or just be one run. So fortunate for that to only be one. He's going to want to find his lengths early here. You can get into wickets early as a leg spinner. It'll do you good. And honestly, his lengths in Atlanta were very well done. He was pitching it up, flighting it, would get too full at times, but he was in good rhythm. Yeah, there. It's got played into out, but that's the area you want to be if you're Adi Gupta.
That was an excellent ball. Yeah, just fought it off there. That's a wicket-taking delivery sometimes. How was the wind down there in Atlanta? Did that play a role in the game? Because there's not much wind today.
Yeah, not much wind today, but definitely something that factored in to some of those dismissals at the bottom veers. As this one's cut, and we'll just beat point and find that sweep recover. Comes around. Yeah, the wind did play a factor. It was definitely blowing into what would have been, the commentator's box left. That's where it would blow into pretty consistently. So batters would have, playing to that region, you often found runs galore there. Push down the ground. We saw a slip in place, and it's a good start for Adi Gupta. Yes, had the one short ball to start things off, but has since found his line, found his length very early.
If you're going to bowl a short one, make it be your first one of the whole entire spell.
That was a googly, just fended away, and no runs on offer. And something's got to give now for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. They've played up a lot of these overs, and things have really started to really creep on to each other. Where do they go? Where's the big shot? Just a push into the onside. Very patient, this Lions team. They'll only get one forward as well. It's the 8th over that's come and gone, and just 56 runs are on the board for the loss of 2 wickets.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, Rajanan's back into the attack, and Nate, you've noticed something about the way Raj is coming in.
Well, he's changing ends this time, but we see that he's using the entire crease just like Harmeet Singh does, with USA left-arm orthodox bowler. And he doesn't come out as far to the side as Harmeet does, but he does like to use that entire crease. And I think when he's ripping it in there the way that he tends to do, he creates interesting angles that force the batter to take a little bit of a defensive mindset, put some doubt in the batter's mind right as he's releasing the ball.
Well, Gudanshu Sharma and company have got to get things going. You're 8 overs in. You've only got 56 runs on the board. At some point, something's got to give and something's got to start to flow. You don't see any rhythm yet. Runs are scoring, but again, you wouldn't feel confident in the Lions to really take things apart yet. And just a push into the offside. And again, this is a good way to get yourself into flow, right? Because you're getting those singles, you're keeping the scoreboard ticking, but at some point, something has to follow.
Which is why I'm very curious to see how the bowling changes are going to go this game, if they're going to keep them on their toes with a new guy.
Into the onside again. Yeah, and again, I'm just very curious because it is their first game. What are the roles that these guys have been given, right? Because this team is pretty new. We saw on draft day, didn't have their picks out. A lot of this is new additions, and yes, they've played for the Lions before, but it's a whole new season, a whole new way to open things up. So I'm just curious how this team starts to flow and gel and what the roles have been carved out from Captain Chandrapal.
Well, we have some good bats on the bench there waiting to come in for Fort Lauderdale. We have Clinton Pastano, who's played in the CPL. He's from Guyana. So I'm interested in seeing how they're going to build their batting order.
No run again. This is really good from Nanan. You just see a guy who's flighting things in, keeping things tight, not giving much room on either side of the wicket, and just keeping this Lions batting lineup really at bay. Struck on the pads. They're going to go for a quick single. Direct hit could be close. Direct hit there. And given not out there from the umpire. Shahar Shwethan's done a great job on that, but it hasn't come off. Let's have a second look at this.
Well, I think both of us have played with Sahar Swathan before, and we both rate his keeping quite highly. Look at that. That's really close. That's really close. It looked like he did just barely get in, though.
Yeah, but good pressure from the young man. Again, making his first appearance in minor league cricket and already into the action. Push into the offside. No run available as well. A good tight over yet again from the Morrisville Raptors. How many times have we said that? 9 gone, 59 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Adi Gupta to continue. Spin happening from both ends now. Be curious to see where they go with Nanan with just 1 over left, but they are going to continue the leg spinner from one end. No slip in place, however, now. Stayed low. Really probably wasn't on the back foot. Didn't need to be, rather. And will find themselves 1 run. Will the Lions?
Well, that was just far enough away from the eyes that when it did stay low, the back could get down to it. Oh, man, if that had been closer to the batter, that would have been a tough one.
Missed the run up that time, did Adi Gupta. And again, for Adi Gupta, the lengths are so important here. He's got to get himself into a rhythm early. Again, making his way back in. He's replacing Karthikeya Jagadish, who we thought was going to be a consistent figure. This one's hit beautifully. This is what you needed if you're the Fort Lauderdale Lions. A little bit of width, and the Lions make it pay.
A little bit too wide, maybe a little bit too full there, I think, at that line anyhow. And no chance of that turning. He wallops it.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there. And brilliant scenes here at Church Street Park. Planes above your head there. And again, we got cricket in the middle, planes in the air. Brilliant, but that's what the Fort Lauderdale Lions want to do. They want to fly high. They want to bring things back into a good position. The googly that time. No run on offer, and a good comeback there from the young leggy.
This Lauderdale team is a team on the rise. They almost made the playoffs last season. They were very, very good. I think they surprised a lot of people.
Pushed down the ground, and they'll just get 1, but with that boundary makes life easier. And again, that's why the boundary for me was so key for them, because how do you find yourself back into this game? Well, yes, the singles will keep you from falling apart, but the boundaries are how you find yourself back. Little nudge, again the googly there, well picked, and felt maybe they could have pushed for 2 with a little bit more intent. But they're happy to get the 1s now. You've seen it. It's 9 runs off the over without doing a whole lot. And the Gupta just getting a little more grip in the hands. Sun setting here beautifully, Nate.
A lot of singles being hit now to George Baldwin. Makes me wonder when we're going to see him.
But nowhere to go. Just straight to the fielder. But the Lions will take this over here. A good one for them. 10 gone. It's 68 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Go.
We got the Morrisville Cricket Carnival happening right now, and you see Fusion 9 Express right there, their food truck. You see Sunkissed Summer. You can get some soap, some candles, Let me tell you, it smells amazing. I'm a big fan of the oud and the brown soap there. And there you go, Mario preparing for the game today. This is the Morrisville Cricket Carnival. If you're in Morrisville, come on over, enjoy some food, enjoy some cricket. Come say hey to us. We'll maybe teach you some cricket if you want to learn it.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a whole festival here at Churchill Park. That's why we're so happy to be back. There's no place that feels like this, I think, across America. We've been to plenty of these places, and Grand Prairie's great, being in all these venues, and I guess we have the hometown bias, and there's games going on all over MLC Network, so go check it out. But if you're here in Morrisville watching on this YouTube stream, come to the game. There's a DJ going on. There's a PA system. There's food. There's drinks. The weather's chilling up beautifully. I mean, this is a place to be, Nate.
100%. It's always the place to be for us. It's feeling amazing right now. This is a great respite from the hot week that we've had. Right now, the temperature couldn't be any better. We got airplanes flying overhead, so bring your toddlers. And we've got balls flying through the air, so come enjoy the action.
Yeah, again, just terrific what we're seeing so far. And for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, you just take a look at this halfway stage. There's a little drinks break because of the heat that's been influenced here in minor league cricket. What's happening now for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, in the middle, it's Gunachu Sharma, who's 15 off 22, and Kevin Stout, who's 11 off 10. Starting to find their way into the innings, into the groove. What's your message now? 10 overs left, 8 wickets in hand. You think you need around 160, 170. So what is your message to the Fort Lauderdale Lions?
I think things look like about 140, 145 right now. If they can continue, if they ramp it up a little bit, I think that you're gonna want to give the team permission to put their foot down. You got a couple of good bats on the bench. Go ahead and go for it a little bit. Let's see what the Raptors do with their bowling attack, who they're going to bring in. It looks like they're going to bring in Raj Anand to continue. I was wondering if they were going to save him a couple of overs because he hasn't really bowled in a continuous spell. They've given him a couple overs every time. But let's see how they approach this. I think maybe Raj Anand looks dangerous with every ball he's bowled. You might just want to get through this over with 6 or 7 and then kind of see where you're at and go from there and just attack.
For me, I like the move from the Raptors. It's an aggressive move on their part, but why are they doing it? Because the message would have come out, hey, you need to be more aggressive, more attacking. So they're going to dare the Lions to attack Raj Anand. There's a single there onto the offside. Music blaring all around the ground. And again, a real festival this. But again, that approach. When are we going to see it for the Lions? Are they going to be happy to take those couple deliveries and hit those, maybe 1 or 2 bad balls for runs? Or are they looking to be way more aggressive? Let's take a look. Yeah, you can see there, harder hit off the bat. It'll just fetch 1, but the intent for sure there.
Yeah. The intent is there. Rolled it back in. A little confident that they're not gonna try to go. Let's see here.
Looks to be innovative. Big shout. Big shout. Says no. I think he's outside the line. I think what he's done really well, Gunachu Sharma, with the movement, he's just cut the opportunity.
Yeah, I think he took the LBW out of play there. The way that he moved his body, got his eyes over the ball, so that way if he missed it, I don't think it was going to go on.
But again, tight here. Just 2 runs from the first 3 deliveries. Have to find a boundary. And again, nothing. It's flat. It's quick. It's not turning a whole lot. Again, this is just good stuff from the Morrisville Raptors and Raj Anand.
Big acquisition for them. Raj was drafted in Major League Cricket after a wonderful season in the East last year. One of the top bowlers there.
A push down the ground. Yeah, he was one of the top bowlers out east and picked up in Major League and was part of that Texas Super Kings roster. And we know how good he is, and he's excellent in the field as well. Took a fantastic catch down in Atlanta last week all around the boundary. You would have seen that as well on our minor league live that we did on Wednesday. As this one's just defended. Not what the doctor ordered for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, but that man, Trevin Griffith, he'll be happy, and the Morrisville Raptors are holding things down. 11 gone, 72 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
It was faded in.
Third straight for Adi Gupta. Starts with width and just the inner half of the bat, nearly chopped on, but bold move here from Captain Trevon to decide he's going to go ahead and give the leg spinner a third straight over. Nate, I'll ask you about your thoughts on that after this. Full toss, pounced into the onside. Aditya Badala out there, keeps it to just a couple of runs. Really well done from Badala.
Excellent effort. You're always going to get that from Adi Padala. You're always going to get a good effort. He's a good athlete, good fielder. He's a staple for this team. He's a very important player on this team. I'm curious if we're going to see him with the ball in a minute.
Inner half of the bat again. Swithin is giving chase to it. Just a run there. But all right, thoughts. Adi Gupta, third straight over. You like it? Don't like it? What do you think?
Oh, I like it right now with the results that they're getting. It always comes back to the results, doesn't it? But I think it's fine. You know, sometimes you just have to roll with a guy while everybody else, you throw in, you try to keep him on their toes with everybody else.
Yeah, the reason I was just curious about it, it's that third over, right? Oftentimes we see that in the third over of a bowler's consecutive spell, that's when they can get taken for runs. Gupta's been good. I also think what plays a factor into Griffith's mind is that it's starting to cool down. Dew's going to come on. And it could just get harder to grip for the leggy. So he's just trying to get his overs out before that dew and that wet ball comes into play.
We've seen two bad balls pretty much. Three bad balls from Gupta. Two of them he got lucky for singles. Well, one was two.
Down the ground, in the air, but just one.
Yeah, so we've seen three bad balls from him that went for a total of 7 runs. I think you'll take that from a leggy.
Absolutely. Well, 12 overs gone. It's 72 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, Nate, you asked the question, and the Morrisville Raptors must have been listening to the comms because they said, all right, Nate, here you go. You wanted to see our new addition, the man who's making his minor league debut in George Baldwin, big, tall, fast bowler from the English shores. He's into the attack, Nate.
Well, I like that. Maybe we'll see Adi Padala next over. Because I did say something about him too, but let's see how we get with Baldwin. I'm really excited about it. He's very tall.
Starts nice and full and different from Bolasetti. You know, in a similar role but different. You can see it's not as violent of an action through the ball. Maybe that first delivery was just him getting to his position, but you can see he's looking to be fuller in length. He's looking to, you know, just release the ball, and it seems like he's someone who bowls with a new ball quite a bit off that first delivery. This one straight. A lot of work to do for Rohan Fudke, who's come into the field. Not in the team today, but always good in the deep.
I think there's some real potential here for something short. I want to see a short ball here. I want to see him bend his back and snap his wrist a little bit.
Well,
I think we might get there.
He's a very tall individual. Nate is not just saying that. He is about 6'4", I would say. Probably even taller than that. He towers above me, and I rest in the 6 foot to 6'1" category. Full and straight, inner half of the bat and escaping with runs there. You can see it's the wrist for Baldwin. He's not coming in with a lot of running speed, and it's not a huge jump into his delivery, but at the very end he snaps that wrist, and that's what's generating his pace right now.
Yeah, keeping his hand on top of getting his hand over the ball and snapping his wrist there. I like that. You can see him running in with his wrist cocked. a good sign that that's a part of his features.
Short, just pushed into the onside. No real runs coming for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. They're just unable to find boundaries. Again, these singles are fine, but with 8 wickets in hand, Nate, it just feels like something's got to go.
Yeah, it does. I think, we need a boundary or a wicket here. It's one of those moments, I think. Fort Lauderdale's going to have to step it up soon. They're going to have to step it up before that last 6 overs, like I said before.
On a length again. This time it cut in. This is a good first over for Baldwin. And again, I think Baldwin's real contribution is going to come with the bat. That's what I've heard about him. He's a big ball striker. But for the Raptors, again, we're talking about a pace attack that's being rebuilt. To get a couple overs of him alongside Padala, alongside Bolasetti, alongside Barnwell, it just adds to the depth for Griffith facing batters like Kevin Stout. Sneaks inside the wide line. Ooh. Kept it wide of the batter there. I think it's a good call as well. 13 gone, 81 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Lights are on at Church Street Park as the sun starts to dip into sunset. This is the most beautiful time right now, and because of the coolness, look at this, people coming in. This is not just a major league facility, guys. Minor league cricket lives and breathes in Church Street Park.
And if you watch a lot of these minor league games here,
in the air, away from the fielders, just will get one. What are you telling us about minor league cricket, Nate?
Well, if you watch a lot of our live streams, if you watch our broadcasts, it will sound like a broken record, but people do come in here as the first innings starts to come to a close. People file in numbers.
Hit up. Hasn't got all of it. Trevin Griffith's running a long way. It gets through cover. It gets through the man who is out there in the deep, and again, you're going to feel disappointed there. The man at sweeper cover. But it'll end up being a couple of runs.
The drift that Gupta got on that ball made that happen. Made that ball go up to that region. He got a lot of drift on that ball. It moved like a curveball through the air.
Yeah, well, you see this here from Adi Gupta. You can see the intent now from the Lions. They're looking to play those strokes, and Gupta senses it. Short, pulled into the onside. It'll just be a couple of runs. I want to take a second look at that near opportunity there. Let's have this look there. Take a look at this, Nate. It's hung in the air for a very, very long time, and he sensed that he was out. Trevor Griffith made a lot of ground. Cover just was never in a position. I believe it's Bolasetti out there as well, but was never in a position to make that catch.
I think he might have heard some footsteps there. I think there was a little bit of second guessing in his mind, but yeah, that was it was an effort at least.
Well, here we go. This one looks close. The googly didn't pick it. It was straight as nails, and there you go. Adi Gupta's off to the races. The big Selly's out, and the Raptors, they've picked up wicket number 3.
Excellent ball there. I think we saw that drift earlier. I think that puts the question in the batter's mind, hey, I got to cover that drift. And then when he comes in with the googly there, boom, you're dead meat.
Well, that'll close what was a tough stay at the middle for Guratu Sharma. 21 off 32. The Lions, they're 85 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Something and some impetus into this innings. It's been slow, it's been stagnant, but he's got to get through this final delivery of Adi Gupta's spell. Fends it away. Will just get one for his efforts, but a good spell for Adi Gupta comes to an end in his 4 overs, goes for just 24 runs and takes the 1 wicket. 14 gone, 86 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
These did.
Well, Baldwin is in. He'll have the ball again. Just gave up 4 runs in his first. It's Ryan Prasad, who's been in the CPL as a member of the St. Lucia Kings. They're going to need some CPL batting here. Use of the feet, flash of the hands, and it feels like a broken record, just 1.
It's actually Ravindra Prasad. Ryan Prasad is in the team as a leg spinner. There's 2 R Prasads in this team.
Yeah, there you go. So Ravindra's in. Again, member of the St. Lucia Kings in the CPL. And Kevin Stout at the other end has been in for 23 deliveries. He's scored 22 runs, and this is kind of the strike rate he was operating in last season. But he's going to want to try to up the ante now. They have 7 wickets. You're in the last 6 overs. Got to score. This is good. This is good from George Baldwin. You can see even this late, there's a little late movement from his wrist position, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. He's moving it in the air really well, and his ball looks heavy when he hits that. When he hits that good length, his ball looks like it has some weight to it.
Yeah, it's tight from the young man here. Again, he is one of the youth players here for the Morrisville Raptors. He's listed as an under 18, so he's only going to get bigger and stronger with room to grow. This one struck, but you talk about a heavy ball. You can see how much of Kevin Stout's bat went through it, and nothing came out of it. It felt like the bat was almost going to explode.
Yeah, it's interesting how that is. You see it in baseball too. You see some guys, they say bowl a heavy or pitch a heavy ball or bowl a heavy ball. And I think in cricket a little bit, I think that's maybe aided. I think you get that when the ball doesn't slow down as much as you think it will off the wicket.
Just 2 runs from the first 3 deliveries. Gets full on the legs, and we'll just get 1. And again, another impressive thing about Baldwin, he's bowling to his field. He's got the deep backward square, the deep mid-wicket. He's got a long on and a long off and a sweeper cover. So the one thing he can't do, bowl full and wide. Not doing that. What can he do? Bowl short down the leg side, not doing that. And everything else, he's just found lengths and lines that work with his field set.
I'm curious to see how he is in the longer formats. I bet he'd be quite good.
This one pushed into the offside. This was the one that got away from him. It was full, a little bit of width, and we'll find 4 runs and some sloppy boundary work by the folks outside the ground, but the Fort Lauderdale Lions will take it 4 runs.
And you can see with that one, with that delivery, the ball kind of curves a little more than swings. You see that? That's angling the wrist a little bit in. We'll get that effect, that Magnus effect, where it kind of drifts instead of swing. There's a little bit of a difference between the 2 things. I know it sounds crazy.
This one's just missed the stumps. You can't believe it, Baldwin. A good way to close, another good over for the Morrisville Raptors. A boundary in it, though, for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. After 15, it's 93 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, Nate, they listened to you just a couple overs later. Replacing Adi Gupta is Adi Padala. Aditya Padala comes in with the ball in hand was really good last weekend, angling it in to the right-handers from around the stumps. He's going to start from over, but this is a new situation for him. We're used to seeing him start his innings off early on, but my God, I gotta love this. 2 young kids having a ball, phones out, taking pictures, food trucks everywhere. This is just brilliant.
Well, we need a dance cam. The dancing going on at the boundary by the kids is wonderful.
Slower one to start off, and this is the feature of Padala's game as they look for 2. Could be tight. Direct hit would have been close. It directly gets on the legs of Kevin Stout, but the feature of Padala's game is the slower one, is the cutters, and you can almost expect him for however many overs he bowls. Let's say he does get 2, he's going to bowl 12 cutters.
Oh, no doubt. And we were talking in the break earlier about why we haven't seen him yet. And it's because we had those lefties early on in the game and in the innings. And now we have righties. It's perfect time for him. I was wondering if they were going to skip out on him altogether. But he's in the team to bowl. He's in the team to bowl those cutters.
Back of the hand, just put down the ground. And again, when you look at this Raptors team, it is going to be paced by committee. But the Raptors fans will realize and be happy about the fact that Barnwell takes a load off of Bolasetti, off Baldwin, off Badala, and gives them a little bit of freedom because there's that one man up top taking wickets at both the beginning and the end of an innings. And now you let a guy like Badala come here and bowl with such confidence. Nicely struck into the onside, but again, just 1 run.
You know, we've seen Padala now this will be his 4th season we've seen him. And we know he's economical. He bowls well in the clutch. He bats well in the clutch too. Usually bats around 9 or so, 9 or 10, but he's never bothered by pressure.
Well, he got a promotion with the bat actually last week, and they hit some winning runs as well. Never bothered by pressure. Speaking about hitting winning runs for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, it's got to be on these 2 now to find some runs and find them quickly. And again, it's harder out there in the middle than what we're saying, but you've won the toss. You've elected to bat first. You've got to give yourself something to bowl at. There's the intent we're looking for. Moves across the stumps and just over the big, tall George Baldwin. It was a great effort, but a much-needed boundary for Prasad.
Slightly wrong angle there from the start. I think when you're fielding here at this ground for the first time, you got to get used to the slope because we do have a good grade out there. Slightly wrong angle. If he'd have been better off to kind of angle backwards a bit for that one, but good effort, good, well-struck ball for sure.
Yeah, and is this the tide turner now for the Fort Lauderdale Lions? They've got to go after these last couple overs. You've got to at least get to 140 and give your bowlers an opportunity with the dew. Low full toss. It's, you would say it's a full toss, but it's slow. It's dipping on them. And again, that 1 boundary does help this over quite a bit because it's now a double-digit over thanks to it. 16 overs gone, 104 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Baldwin for his 3rd. Helped into the onside, work to be done, and unable to do it. Believe it's Sanjay Stanley out there, had a lot of work to do at backward square, unable to do it, and boundaries starting to flow now for the Fort Lauderdale Lions.
You can't let that happen if you're in the field if you're the Raptors in the field right now. You can't allow that to happen. That should have been 2 runs really, and just gets right under him. Yorks him basically. Yorks him. The ball goes right underneath him. You got to try your best to get underneath that ball, to get behind that ball. That's a tough one.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. This from Prasad has just gotten to the fielder. It'll end up being 4 runs and a scary fall also I think Sanjay Stanley's hurt himself out in the concrete. Everything happened on that play there. Quite nearly a wicket, nearly a big shot as well. Ends up being 4, and Sanjay Stanley took a mighty, mighty tumble on the way down here. We're going to hope he's all right. It'll be runs, but this is key for the Raptors batting side. You can see he's struggling with pressure on that right leg, and his left arm, he's grasping at it.
Oh, this might be a shoulder. You think maybe a shoulder. When you fall on that like that, oh my goodness, that was an effort. And we got that effort from him. He's certainly trying to make up for the prior play. So he might have tried a little too hard on that one. He's not failing due to effort. He didn't miss that first ball due to effort, that's for sure.
Well, take a look at this. He's moved across, he's hit it, and he's hit it into the bigger side, the ground. Just fell in front of Abhiram Bolasetti, who had a really good effort there. And it's this, that collision there. He's tripped it.
Elbow. It looked like his elbow.
Yeah, it looks like the elbow. Gonna hope it's okay. It's nothing more than maybe just a little bit of a flesh wound, if anything at all. And he's making his way back into the dugout, it seems. But scary, scary fall. Gonna hope for Sanjay Stanley that he's all right.
He was just trying to avoid a collision there with Abhiram Bolasetti, and Abhi Bolasetti kind of overran that ball quite a bit. And it was just, man, that was inevitable almost. That's tough.
Very tough indeed. And again, gonna hope he's okay. We've got a replacement fielder out there now. As Baldwin, he's been picked up for 2 4s through his first 2 deliveries. Good start from Prasad. Innovative fielder there. And no ball. It's a no ball. It was taken. But he's bowled a no ball, and Baldwin, the mistakes are just piling on top of each other. 2 tough breaks in the outfield, and this time it's self-inflicted.
Oh man, that's rough. That is rough. Everyone here trying to make up for prior mistakes, overstep a little bit there, and oof, just we got an over here of trying too hard, I think.
This one's picked into the onside and picked up beautifully. Well, this over has gone exactly the way the Fort Lauderdale Lions would have wanted. They've started off with 2 4s, they've got the free hit, and they've picked up 6 runs from it.
Yeah, Kevin Stout ready to put his foot on the gas a little bit now. Starting off about a run a ball, but annihilates that one.
And had the license, and sometimes that's a spark you need as a batter. This one pushed. Oh, that's brilliant. Carved away through the offside. We'll find 4, this time behind point. We talk about how the 3rd over of a bowler in a consecutive session could be their shortcomings. That's what it is for Baldwin.
Well, this is all just experience. This is all just youth. Just, let's see how he does, how he bounces back from this. This is a good learning moment. But it's, in this league, it's all about putting your foot on somebody's neck and not letting go. You got to strike when the iron is hot. You have to go after them when you've got your foot on their throat.
Full and straight, helped into the onside. It's a good change there from Baldwin. Took pace off a little bit as well. So didn't give the standard, the kind of delivery that Stout was looking for. A good change-up, but for the Fort Lauderdale Lions in this over, you've just changed the outlook of this game. It was 104 for 3, and now you're talking about the fact it's 125 for 3 with still a delivery to spare.
And we said they wanted to get to 145. Looks like 160, 170s in the cards right now. It's in there. Let's see if they can get to it. But they're going to need to take a wicket, this Morrisville Raptors team.
Into the onside, fielder there, settles and takes it. It's another no ball. He's overstepping here, Baldwin. He's taken 2 wickets in the over, and neither of them will count. He's just overstepped on both occasions. This is just self-inflicted wounds from the youngster and the Morrisville Raptors.
And I'll tell you what, people do not miss overstepped no balls at this ground. We get a lot of them. We definitely get a lot of them.
Free hit coming for Kevin Stout. What does he have in store? He hit the other one for 6. And will be met with the wide. We'll have to re-bowl it. Baldwin can't quite believe it. And it's just a snowball effect. Things go wrong and they continue to go. You see a shake of the head and a little grimace from the youngster.
Yeah, he knows he's having a rough time. He's got to just put it behind him. He's got to go to the next ball. Just have to move on to the next ball. It's a tough thing to do. Especially, it's easy to do for me because I'm up here, but it's tough to do in reality. It's
Bat on ball, hasn't gotten cleanly. Good comeback there from Baldwin. Pulled the length back, and will just pick up 1 run to close out the 17th over. A very, very good one for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, one they needed. Get 25 runs from it. It's 129 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, you talked about it. Sun going down, fans starting to check in. You can see the stands up there as well. It's a cricket carnival here at Church Street Park. And Nate, you got a chance to be front and center in that. I'll have you talk about that in a little bit. We saw the little clipping you made of it, but now it's Barnwell in to try to rectify the wrongs. Starts well. Quick singles, all they can find. Important over this.
Yeah, how much of that last over, how much did that last over inform the bowling selection of this over? Do you think they would have rode with Adi Padala if that last over had gone a little bit better for them, or a lot better for them?
I think they would have. I think, they would have tested the youngster's arm yet again, but they want to energize this crowd you're seeing in there now. They want to energize them. They want to see Barnwell bring things back together, because that over is the catalyst over. You've seen it from, the teams very consistently. Once they get that one big over, it just can kind of culminate. Right now, the Raptors are trying to hold things together. Barnwell, very meticulous. He's changed the angle. He's coming around. He's got a deep point and a deep cover on the offside, along with a deep third. And again, pushing it towards the offside. It's smart batting from Prasad, too. He's recognized that. He's come all the way across, but Barnwell then seeing that, pull the length back. It's just a contest of 2 experienced players.
It's chess, as they say, 4D chess, some would call it. It's pretty standard.
Chess, honey.
Well, we haven't got to the 4D part yet, but good. This is what good cricketers do.
Stout into the onside. The call's for 2, and they'll just get 1. This is good for the Morrisville Raptors. Again, in these last couple stages, it is all about the boundaries. How many did you give up? And if you don't give up any in an over, you've won that over, regardless what they get off the ground.
So do you turn the ball over next over? Do you give it to Adi Padala to bowl the 19th? We know, as I said before, he's very good with pressure. I think that this was a necessary change just to get the experience of Barnwell in there to stop the bleeding. Do you go back to Adi Padala in the next over?
I think Badala's a great option. I think it's between him and Bolasetti. Bolasetti's bowled well today. I just would think about his struggles with batter's movement. I think Badala is the man. Hit straight. Cries of catch it. It'll just drop short. But again, the chess match here from Barnwell, changing angles, changing fielders. And we've talked about how important Barnwell is in this team. It's because of this experience, what he does, that's what makes this team click. Because they can just turn to him, hey, things went wrong, fix it, and he's the Band-Aid over all the glaring issues.
Great start so far for that Band-Aid.
Down the leg side, it'll be wide, well kept from Sahar Shwetan.
I think Siddharsh has done quite well with the gloves today. We saw him coming up and playing up with Adi Padala bowling. Something you got to be able to do in T20 cricket. You have to be able to pin the batter in his crease.
Well, look at this here. These guys are looking to make their way into minor league cricket, but until they get to there, they'll play a little bit of 4 square, it looks like. I got to get down there and try my hand in that as well. But again, it's just the whole atmosphere here at Church Street Park. Slower one, dealt with well, but just for 1. This is just good bowling. Going back to Saharsh, right, what I think of here is this is a kid who's kept up at every stage of his career. When he was 11, kept with the under-13s. When he was 12, kept with the under-15s. When he was 15, kept with under-17s. Keeping has never been an issue for him, and now he's moved into the under-19 camp, and he's keeping up with the Morrisville Raptors. Not a surprise if you've seen him, but a testament to his skill. Oh, brilliant. Brilliantly done. Could have been amazing for Adi Gupta if he got it to stick in his hand. The pace off the ball kept it in play and very nearly a wicket there.
Ooh, good effort there from Adi Gupta. But yes, as you mentioned, Saharsh, very good with the gloves. Boom. Oh, good creativity there. Good answer to what the bowler's trying to do. Gupta got there, but he just couldn't close his hand around it.
Well, there you go. 18 gone, 137 for 3. Here we go. We talked about who's the option from this far end of the ground, the Cedar Fork end of the ground. It'll be Abhiram Bolasetti with ball in hand. 11 runs through 2 overs. Nate, what do you reckon of this move?
Well, 3 of those runs were wides, which is the problem. That's the problem with Abhiram Bolasetti. But later in the innings, you tend to bowl a little bit more wides as you try to go wide with the Yorkers.
Slower ball, well done. They'll get a quick single as a way, but that's brilliant. That was really well done from Bolasetti. Executed that quite well.
Very well, very well. They're not getting good contact on him today yet. And yes, he's been bowling great from this end. All 3 overs from this end, from the southern end of the ground.
And the one thing about young bowlers, young fast bowlers in the USA, what you tend to see them do really well is because they play so much T20 and white ball cricket, they're used to bowling in the death. So they develop those cutters and those slower ones so early. Think about Atinder Subramanian, Aditya Padala, Aryan Batra out in Baltimore.
Stephen Wigg.
And now Abhiram Bolasetti. These guys play so much of this T20 game that this becomes second nature.
If you're a fast bowler in the USA, you're going to play a lot of T20 cricket.
Slower one again, hit up, fielder underneath it, and taken. Well done there, Abhiram Bolasetti bowling to plan. It's been an absolute display with the ball, and the 4th wicket falls for the 4th Lauderdale Lions.
That was the wicket they needed to get. Barnwell with the safe hands. Great job there by Bolasetti.
Now take a second look at this. It's the width of this delivery. It's slowed down as well, trying to play a big slog, and all he could do was slice it up, and well judged in the end. A quick high five to close the play out as well. Nicely done there for the Morrisville Raptors. Prasad will go for just 27 off 16. It's 138 for 4. New man for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, and they need him to get a move on early. It'll be Pestano, Clinton Pestano. He's in. Nate, what do you know about him?
Well, he's played in the CPL. He's from Guyana. This is we have a lot of the Caribbean players down in Florida. Here's another good quality player making his debut here for this team.
Well, here we go. What can he bring? Deep cover, long on, long off, deep mid-wicket, deep backwards, square. And hits it straight to the stumps. They're going to try to take on Abhiram Bolasetti, who actually wisely doesn't go for a big throw.
He just missed getting a hand on that ball, too. He just missed it. He's going to, if he had, he'd be raving right now. He'd be jumping up and down. We know how competitive Bolasetti is. And look at him. It's been so much fun watching him grow and develop as a cricketer and watching him accept the challenges. It's up and down. It's an emotional journey. It's a difficult thing. We've seen him have to reinvent himself, and he's done quite a good job at it. And, I never want to see this guy give it up.
Yeah, watched out well. Wide. I don't know if you can give that wide. Close Could have been close on a direct hit. It's given wide there, Nate. He's gone for the reverse. I don't think he's given himself in a position to play a full reverse shot, but that's an interesting call. I would have thought maybe would have given them that luxury there.
Yeah, it looked like it would have been right on the body of the batter. You think that was the Bolasetti trying to get the stump? Do you think he was going after the stumps right there?
I think he was just trying to keep it away from the arc, really, but he ended up just sliding it down. Again, real keys for Bolasetti here. How does he attack someone playing a different game? Well bowled, hung inside the wide line that time, and Prasad didn't think so.
Guys, hey, you gotta come back. Come back.
They can't stand in front of the batting screen.
You can't even cross this line, okay? It ends here. Don't go this way. And don't walk. Don't walk on the green.
Well, here we go from Bolasetti. He's bowled well. Just giving up those 5 runs. Bowled some dot balls, got a wicket. He's bowled slower, pace off. The one pace on was on a length. Good control so far. Well done.
Great ball.
Good
great
Yorker.
Ball.
Little shout there. Maybe been a little bit of pad on the way through, but spotted the movement, and he hit the Yorkers. And if you've been to Church Street Park with Abhiram Bolasetti bowling under the lights, you would have seen a lot of these Yorkers and the TCL movements, the T10s that he's played in. Yorker. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, that was an excellent ball following the batter there. You heard a little noise, but as you said, it must have been bad on pad or something like that.
Quality 19th over. Under pressure, Bolasetti's responded. What does Prestano have? Slower one and can't do anything with it. It's hung inside the wide line, and the youngster, he's delivered the goods in the 19th over. 141 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Barnwell starts off on the body. It's well bowled from the big man, and that's what he does pretty consistently. Angled in, cutter, jags back, just evades the stumps.
What a 19th over we saw from Abhiram Bolasetti. That's a remarkable over, just giving up 4 runs in the 19th. You know, that's everybody says that that's the biggest over in the death. And boy, if that's the biggest over in the death, that was a huge, huge over.
Well, it just sets up the last over, right? The pressure of what happens. It's, are the batters feeling free, or do they feel like they have to take this bowler on?
Well, now they have no choice, and that's a wide one right there. Barnwell's going to argue that the batter went across, and he followed him, but he's not getting any slack for that today.
Yeah, the batter did move across. I think he might have pushed it just a touch too wide. Again, those lines are up for the umpire's jurisdiction. It's kind of a guideline. It's not a set in stone line. That line does move with the batter, but again, for Barnwell, it's very key here, this over, and the pressure's all on Fort Lauderdale. He doesn't have to really reinvent anything. Very nicely played. Flick of the wrist through backward point. Anticipated that Yorker and just maneuvered it, really, to find 4 runs.
Great shot. Stout has really dug in here in this innings, and if they are going to win this game, you got to thank that fella. Sticking around as long as he has, and I think we're going to see another gear from. Well, we're going to need to see another gear from them if they want to win this game.
Well, he's put on 146 runs right now, the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Stout is on 48, and he's really miraculously gotten that strike weight up to 126. Hit into the air. A lot of work to do. It won't do it, and it'll be a well-deserved 50 for Kevin Stout. He's batted with incredible poise, confidence, and has gone through the innings and really propelled the Lions to this total.
And Stout is saying, okay, you want to bowl me wide over there? I'm just going to whack it over everybody. And getting past Rohan Fadki, you know there wasn't a chance for that to be stopped if Rohan couldn't catch up to it.
Well, double the number on his back for Kevin Stout. Change of angle now for Christopher Barnwell. And what Stout's done really well in this over, he's been on the back foot, knowing it's going to be wide, and then using his wrists to maneuver the balls. Again on the back foot, and Barnwell spotted how open Stout was getting and just followed the open leg. And again, it's just experience from Christopher Barnwell.
Excellent ball there. Yeah, well, Barnwell's now wanting to use the wider boundary coming around. Looks like he's going to challenge the batter to try to whack it over to the leg side. Where the boundary is longer here, we're on the first of 4 pitches on the square.
This one into the legs. He's flicked it well. Calls for 2, and they'll get it in the end as well. But that's good bowling here from Barnwell. But Stout is getting these runs, and they're going to end up somewhere in the 150s, Nate. What do you reckon about this so far?
Well, we don't know. We haven't had a game here at Church Street Park yet this season. But looking at the wicket before the game, I felt like there were some runs in this wicket. But there's a little bit for everybody, as you mentioned before, with the greenness of the wicket. But it does seem pretty flat.
Dug in. Ooh. And I think Stout is walking to close out the 20th over. So well bowled from the Morrisville Raptors and well done from the Fort Lauderdale Lions to get themselves back into this game. You would say the Raptors are ahead at this stage, just 152 runs on the board. But with the batting card, it was the thing of starts for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Dhananjay Chanderpaul had 20 runs off 19. Isaiah Raja 14 off 9. Gadanshu Sharma 21 off 32. And Ravindra Prasad had 27 off 16. But it's Kevin Stout's 54 from 42 that's changed this game completely.
Yeah, it was that Stout Ravindra Prasad's partnership there that really boosted them into the 150s. I don't think they get there without that injection or without that big over there from Baldwin in the 17th.
Absolutely, and with the ball for the Morrisville Raptors, Christopher Barnwell was brilliant, 4 overs, 39. No wicket for him. Rajanan, 4 overs, 16 runs. No wickets for him. Javon Griffith, in his 1 over, took 9 runs and got a wicket. And you see the bowling card coming up to you now as Abhiram Bolasetti was under the lights performing brilliantly. 3 overs, 15 runs in his 2 wickets. And then Aditya Gupta had a wicket in his 4 overs. And Baldwin, as you mentioned, that one really expensive over hurt his figures, but impressive stuff from the Raptors.
And Baldwin with 36 runs from the 3 overs. Overall, not a terrible game. We see a lot of 12 runs and over from a fast bowler in this league. You know, every innings is going to have 1 or 2 of those. So I think he just needs to look at what he did well and move forward.
Absolutely. We already saw that batting card for you, and you see it once again. 50 for Kevin Stout. That's what's propelled this innings over. And well, the Fort Lauderdale Lions, they did their job with the bat. They got to 152. The Morrisville Raptors, when we return, we'll need 153. Don't go anywhere. Refill whatever drink you're drinking. Get some more food and keep yourself in front of our stream because Church Street Park is living it up right now. When we return, the Morrisville Raptors, they'll need 153. And no runs on offer yet. Haven't missed any of those. Nate, it's a good start. Inside edge. It'll run towards the boundary. It's a quick outfield, and it will be the first runs. Music came out early, but it was never going to be stopped. Off the bat, down the ground, and this one will run all the way to the boundary. It's good intent here from the Lions. They've just seen it. They've had enough.
Line and length.
Better than the rest, straight down the ground. How about this? It's Isaiah Raja's over, and we're all just living in it. That's the 3rd 4, and that was sweetly struck.
Run, you know Chanderpaul can move, so that's not an issue.
This one looks straight, looks very straight and given. We just talked about how they weren't so particular with how they want everything to be set up. This is a particularly great shot. It'll run all the way to the boundary for 4, into out over covers, no better sign.
Ooh.
Hit down the ground, fielder in place, but it'll go over him. No, it's taken. Well done in the end. Abhiram Bolasetti, he gets
Adi
the
Padal.
young man. It's Adi Padal out in the deep. Assistant figure. This one's hit beautifully. This is what you needed if you're the Fort Lauderdale Lions, a little bit of width, and the Lions make it pay. Hit up. Hasn't got all of it. Trevin Griffith's running a long way. It gets through cover. It gets through the man who was out there in the deep, and this one looks close. The googly didn't pick it. It was straight as nails, and there you go. Adi Gupta's off to the races. The big cell. This one pushed into the offside. This was the one that got away from him. It was full, a little bit of width, and we'll find 4 runs and some. This one's just missed the stumps. You can't believe it, Baldwin. A good way to close another. There's the intent we're looking for. Moves across the stumps and just over the big, tall George Baldwin. It was a great effort, but a much-needed boundary. Baldwin for his third. Helped into the onside. Work to be done and unable to do it. Believe it's Sanjay Stanley out there. Had a lot of... Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. This from Prasad has just gotten to the fielder. It'll end up being 4 runs and a scary fall also. I think Sanjay Stanley's hurt himself out in the con. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. This one's picked into the onside and picked up beautifully. Well, this over has gone exactly the way the Fort Lauderdale Lions would have won. This one pushed. Oh, that's brilliant. Carved away through the offside. We'll find 4 this time behind point. We talk about how the third over, you've seen him, but a testament to his skill. Oh, brilliant. Brilliantly done. Could have been amazing from Adi Gupta if he got it. That it's to stick it. Slower one again. Hit up. Fielder underneath it. And taken. Well done there. Abhiram Bolasetti bowling to plan. It's been an pressure's all on Fort Lauderdale. He doesn't have to really reinvent anything. Very nicely played. Flick of the wrist through backward point. Hit into the air. A lot of work to do. It won't do it. And it'll be a well-deserved 50 for Kevin Stout. He's batted with incredible poise, confidence, and has gone through the innings and really propelled the Lions to this total.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Well, Church Street Park has come to life. Here you see the lights coming undone, the night sky trickling in over Morrisville, North Carolina, in this beautiful venue that we have. And right now, what the Morrisville Raptors will have to do, they only 153 in their second innings, and we'll see them out in a little bit. I'm Owen Patel. I'm joined by Nate Hayes. And Nate, you see the Fort Lauderdale Lions warming up there. What's the key to their defense of this total?
Well, I think it's going to be the fast bowling. They're going to look to Kevin Stout, who took 22 wickets in 10 games in 2023 to lead the Atlantic Conference. And they're going to look to him to continue that dominance from last season. Youngster Achilles Brown, he's tall. He plays a lot in England and the Caribbean. He's a good fast bowler. He's a good emerging star in this league. I'm sure we'll see his name quite a bit today. He's going to have to bowl his full quota because they got 3 leggies in the team. Aside from that, they got Adam Khan, Ryan Prasad, and they also have Isaiah Raja, all leggies on this team. And this is interesting. This was what makes the decision to bat first so curious for them. Leg spin tends to get neutralized here as the evening goes on and the dew comes in and the ball gets a little bit more wet. Gets a little bit slippery. You get the shorter balls. You get the more full tosses from the leg spinners. So I think, do you think they'll go with the leggies early, or I'm curious to see where they stack this bowling attack?
Well, what I remember of Isaiah Raja last year was the fact that he was very flat through the air, so I think he is your power play option. But I think because you're going to open the Raptors are with 2 left-handers, Siobhan Griffith and John Campbell, it almost takes out the leggy to start things off. You don't want the ball turning back in to the left-hander straight away on a wicket that's not offering a crazy amount of turn. What I think you're more likely to see is the likes of an Achilles Brown swinging the ball, Kevin Stout swinging the ball, and using what this wicket has, the little bit of green grass, the bounce. There is some movement. The one question is, how many wickets can you take early? The longer you let this innings go out, the more so Raptors creep ahead. Why? It's the dew. For those of you who are new to Church Street Park, plenty of dew goes on this outfield and onto the wicket. What does that do? The ball then skids on and comes onto the bat nicely. It becomes easier to bat as the ball kind of just comes to your bat. It just flows with you. And that is the real difference right now. The key here is early wickets. I want to see an aggressive start from Tajnarayan Chanderpaul.
Curious 11 with Vinit Tagarsi out of the team. Sure. He took 13 wickets last season for this squad. Also curious to not see Elton Tucker Jr. Yes, I know he's a younger player, but you get a little better control with the finger spin options. He's a slow left arm spinner, and obviously, as you said before, we're starting with 2 lefty batters, so that's not as big of a miss. But with the control, I think, with the wet ball, with the wetter ball, the control that the finger spinners provide, it is a curious playing 11 here. Now, this Morrisville Raptors team is very good with the bat. Their 3 stars are excellent with the bat. They've got finishers. We've heard all sorts of stuff about the debutante Baldwin and his ability to hit big. And obviously, we have Adi Gupta who can hit big, and we have Abraham Bolasetti who can hit big. And I think with these 3 star batters that they have in the side, the 3 most experienced Caribbean fellas, I think that we've got the makings of a good chase. I think they're going to have to take wickets. This Fort Lauderdale team will have to take wickets. I don't think you can navigate this on strike rate. You have to take wickets.
Yeah, and the aggressive field is out early for John Campbell. He had a slip in place, really a wide second. First ball coming in. And starts stump to stump. Well done here from Campbell to get himself away. And this will be welcome signs for these 2 batters who played on really tough wickets in Atlanta. You'd think about the scores that they racked up. Just the 150 for Trevin Griffith. Other than that, it was struggles galore for these 2 openers. They'll be happy to see a wicket that's firm, that's got bounce. But when you're also Prestano, with his caliber, you're going to think he's going to be able to extract a bit off of this surface.
26 first-class wickets from Prestano in 11 matches.
Short, and again, these are the little bits, the little phases of the game the Lions can win. It's because of the fact that, again, this game is going to get better for the Raptors to bat. That dew is going to set in. So what can you do here? How do you keep yourself in the game if you're the Fort Lauderdale Lions?
I think that you need to take wickets early. You got to take them early. You have to get into that tail.
looking for that little tuck. You can see pace off the ball already, and I'm curious to see what these adjustments are from the Lions, because already paces off the ball. Are they anticipating not it moving a whole lot and wanting to keep these two batters at bay, keep them on the stumps? With that slip in place, you're looking to be aggressive, but just curious to see the plans. This is the Lions' first test, really, and it's an uphill climb for them.
As you mentioned, Pastano going stump to stump here. These are two very good, difficult left-handed batters to face. We know Trevon has a tremendous minor league record.
This will fly past third. He was in the ring. It's intentionally played in that direction. It came off the outer half of the bat, but Trevin Griffith understood where the gap was and picked it to perfection.
Probably easily one of the best players in the country at finding a way to score, finding an answer to a good plan. And you see that right there. You know, he knows he's going to get cramped. He knows it's going to be a little bit tight. He made himself a little bit of width by waiting on that and letting it go across him and then playing it behind for 4. This Trevon is so clever.
This is clever from Pastano, changing the angle now, daring him to open the face. Oh, misses the length badly on that occasion, but when you talk about clever, Pastano's seen this also. He's seen that his angle across just gives Griffith enough room to just open the face up. And now he's saying, all right, Trevon, I see what you want to do. I'm going to keep third inside the ring, but I'm going to change my angle. If you miss, I hit. So now Trevon has to think twice about opening the face, trying to play late and run it down to third man. It's a good chess match. He said 4D chess. We're seeing it right now. Short again. Big shout just from Pastano. Griffith wants a wide. Umpires don't want to give it, but so this is a rare occasion where neither the bowler nor the batter comes out happy with the delivery.
I think it's a fair compromise. I think that's exactly how that should have gone. I don't think it was wide.
Well, there you go. Nate Hayes says he doesn't think it was wide. There was a sound on the way through. I don't think it was bat either. Could have been multiple number of things, but here we go. Under the lights. This is what it's all about here at Church Street Park. Jag back in to Trevin Griffith. A good start and a very similar start for the Raptors that the Fort Lauderdale Lions had. The Lions had 6 in their first over. The Raptors, they've got 7.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Brian Gale into the attack with the ball. To get to see his exploits with the bat. Has a chance now. Little tick into the onside. That's clever, clever batting. Big gap there. Chase is on. Ball will just hold up. Well done. Good effort out there in the deep, and they'll come back for 3 runs in the end, but it's good batting from the captain. He's understood where the gap was and used the pace.
We get the rare triple, the rare 3. But as we mentioned before, Griffith very good at finding runs and finding space. He found an awful lot of space there. That could have easily run for 4. That's one of those times I think the dew might have actually worked against him.
Well, Brian Gale now, he's got fine leg operating. The off spinner. He's coming over the wicket. I would just think maybe come around, use the angle. In the air, but away from the fielders. That's brilliantly played off the bat of John Campbell. The struggles in Atlanta haven't followed him here to Morrisville. He's getting things going through the line, this time through covers.
Excellent. This is a pretty good start here for Campbell. Obviously, we've mentioned Trevon's ability to find gaps, to find runs. Campbell is no less clever.
He scored a lot of runs. He's been all over the East Coast playing minor league cricket, but he's here in Morrisville, and he's looking to find a home here. He's looking to find rhythm. In and out again, cries of catch it again, but away from the fielder, and it's deja vu as that cone takes a beating. 4 more runs to John Campbell.
Every once in a while you get the cry for catch it, but you wonder who that's directed towards. This is one of those times. Nobody was going to catch this. It was well placed right into that gap. Split the fielders.
Brilliant here. Back-to-back boundaries. Gale under pressure now. Back of a length. It's headed down the leg side, but a good change up there, and you can see it's just rushed on with the arm.
Kind of a funny shout there from Mario Rampersad. That was 2 stumps away from being an LBW. But we know Mario keeps himself in the game.
Look for the big sweep. Big shout. Says no. Nate, what do you think?
Ooh, that is a tough one. It looked like an LBW to me, but it could have been going down leg a little bit if it didn't come back.
Not a big turner of the ball is Brian Gale, but John Campbell's done the job, and he'll retain strike in the 3rd over. 2 gone, 19 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, plenty of fans in attendance, and the Raptors are looking to open things up with the win. Pestano will come back. Gave up just 7 runs in his first over. And so I'm just curious to see how he goes about Trevon Griffith. When he changed the angle, he got too short. Needs to keep the length up. Curious to see what happens as we see more fielders into the offside at point and behind square. Pitched up, no shot, big shout as it strays down the leg side, but that's the area you want to be if you're Pestano. That's a wicket-taking area. Oh, overthrows that time. Can't afford those. We saw the Raptors give up 1 such error, and now the Lions return the favor.
I went back and took a look at that LBW shot from the last over, and it did look like it was going down leg on second. On second look, it looked like a really good call from the umpire.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the umpiring has been pretty spot on today. No big egregious decisions. You'd have to say the players seem pretty happy. These are 2 individuals who umpire a lot in TCL and the local leagues here, but you know they look forward to minor league and doing this. I was having a conversation with Vijay Malayla, who's not standing today, but he's had some major league experience as this one's well stopped inside the ring, and he's feels obligated to give these guys an opportunity to continue to gain experience, and that's really what it's all about.
Great stuff from Vijay Malayla. We know he's a leader in the umpiring corps around the country. That was a great stop by Brian Gale, by the way, on that last ball. Excellent fielding.
And that's what's required. And again, these fans are going to be up and down for every Raptors boundary, but how many can you limit them to if you're the Lions? Helped into the onside. Work to be done at fine leg, and pushes it back in. Does well, but they'll give 2 runs. And with this kind of a chase, if you're the Raptors, the lack of boundaries against Persanto shouldn't really hinder you. It should feel, all right, we just need this because it's 153. You just got to keep the engine chugging.
Yeah, they're doing fine right now. There's no reason to panic or even get close to it. Good stop by, good effort by Ryan Prasad chasing that down. The actor / cricketer / producer. Good work from him on that last ball.
Well done there. I think it's come off the body. It's the running celebration there from the Fort Lauderdale Lions, but I don't think it's come off with a bat of Trevon Griffith at all. I think it's hit him in the midsection. That's where he signaled straight away. And really no big objection, it feels, from the Fort Lauderdale Lions either.
Wow, that was weird. You seldom see the ball hit a batter in his body and make it all the way to the keeper. But that was wild because it looked like, at first look, it looked like it hit him really plumb.
Yeah, again, definitely hit him in that around the midsection. The question was a glove on the way through.
When you have abs like he does, I think it just carries.
Too short that time, and that will be the one for the over. John Campbell signaled for the no ball, but he'll get one for this over. You can see the plan, though, from Pasanto. He's looking to be back of a length and angling into Trevin Griffith. And I'm just curious, with all of his experience, does Griffith elect to move across his stumps and try to help him into the onside? No one at mid-wicket. That fielder at fine leg, I think, is keeping him at bay, however. Stays home, ticked into the onside, and they'll just find themselves a run. It's good batting from the Raptors. Again, not needing too many runs to go get. These will keep them in the game.
Yeah, just tick it around. Let them bowl their wides when they bowl a little too short. See a lot of fans there having a good time. Kids are always playing the game as they watch the game. And I miss those days. You know, when you're always active and you're playing with your friends, that's just a good time.
As this one's tucked into the onside, I'll get one. Well, Nate, we're here talking about cricket with our friends. I consider you one of my good friends, and I know you consider me one of yours. 3 overs gone. It's 27 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, here we go. Fans in attendance and some stars in attendance. Afia Kazi is straight off of the USA Women's Nationals down at Grand Prairie Stadium down in Texas. And now she's here enjoying Church Street Park. Speaking of being down in great places, that Women's Nationals was such an experience, wasn't it, Nate?
Yeah, I think anytime we have cricket happening as regularly as we've had this summer, especially when you're talking about national pathway events and you're talking about minor league cricket, major league cricket, USA playing internationally. Yeah, man, we've had a really packed slate this summer. I love it. I think this is when everybody's the happiest across the country. Everybody who involved in cricket in USA is really at ease during the summertime.
Achilles Brown starts off with a no ball and big wide down the leg side. I think he's overstepped on the occasion as well. No, he's knocked off the bail on the stump. That's why it's going to be a no ball there. And, not the greatest start for Achilles Brown. I think his hands caught onto that, but Achilles Brown's very experienced. He was net bowling down in Barbados, Nate, and I got a chance to talk to him here. I got a chance to talk to him there. He's just a cool young kid, and again, very bright future for him.
He's all over the place. He's in Barbados. He's in England. He's here in Morrisville today.
No ball again, but it doesn't matter. Everyone, we'll talk about how big that was. Kyle Lobenhofer there on camera needs to watch out because that's going straight to him. A straight 6. Cameraman, watch out, please.
What a shot. Oh, my gosh, Kyle. Kyle doesn't know what he's got himself into.
Well, this is Kyle's first cricket game, and John Campbell said, hey, take this home, enjoy this memory, because that's hit very, very close to him. How about this? It's a no ball, so it'll be another free hit. But that's hit just to his right. And to Kyle's credit, he hasn't moved an inch. Well done, Kyle.
Welcome to church. Did that go into the ravine, or did we save that ball?
I think it came back.
That's good. What a lucky ball.
Here we go. Free hit again. And sent again. This is big and beautiful. And another big boundary down the ground. John Campbell, hello. Welcome to Church Street Park.
Wow. Rough start here for Achilles Brown. We've mentioned before, we talked a lot about the youngster in the first innings having a tough over, and boom, wow. look at this start for the Raptors here. That one not as impressive. It's tough to top that first one.
That first one's as straight as you like, as big as you like, and again, brilliant. So Achilles Brown here has got to get things going. He's struggled with the length so far. He's been pitched up. It's asked to be hit with not a lot of movement with that dew on the ground. He's got to find a length here. He's retaking that run up. Gonna want to see the youngster fight back well.
This is 14 runs off of just one official ball.
Helped into the offside, carved away, and will find himself 4 runs there. There you go. Find yourself more runs here, John Campbell. This time it's the movement. It's not a terrible delivery. Nearly yorked himself there, but able to slice it away and carve it. Tough start to the over for Achilles Brown.
Excellent stuff for the Raptors. 45 without loss already. Just 2 balls into this over, into this fourth over. Rapid start.
Change of angle and a touch of fortune for Achilles Brown. John Campbell was set up for it with fine leg inside the ring, only able to find the edge of the bat.
He's mad at himself because he knows he just missed being able to flick that for 4 behind. He just did miss that one. Achilles Brown will happily accept that.
How about it? How about it? Achilles Brown, what do you have now? This is such a testing moment for the youngster. He's, been net bowling all over the place, but now you're in the match. What do? You've been hit for 3 boundaries. How do you respond? Yeah, this is good. He goes to that almost Yorker length there, pushes it past the batter's arc, keeping things in place as well.
You just got to start. You just got to start over again. That's what you got to do, which it looks like he's done here the last 2 balls. He's pulling it back. Let's see how he goes here to finish out the over. Still 2 balls to bowl, 20 runs off of the over so far. But you want to give your captain the reason to put you back in the attack, to keep you in the attack. And so these next 2 balls are going to be really important for the rest of this innings.
Just picked the fielder out there.
Terrific ball, though.
Yeah, very well bowled. It was that Yorker length, and he said he's going to the wide Yorker straight away. Yes, is it defensive early, but you've seen the intent. So the youngster understanding the situation, yes, you want wickets, but let the batters hit you from there. If they score off that ball, you're fine. And the reason you're okay with third inside the ring, it's slower balls, Nate.
Yeah, that one dipped really well. It was a really well executed ball. It's got to be difficult hitting your lengths with all these different deliveries.
That, I think, just helped outside the wide line. It was just a hint of away movement with that wrist position. And sometimes when you're just in a rut of an over, it's hard to get out of it. You can't seem to find your way to the next one.
And every umpire is going to umpire a little bit differently. They're going to have their own zone, so to speak. We see that in baseball a lot, and I think by now you should know that particular ball with these umpires is going to be called a wide. It's been consistent the entire game so far. Good umpiring, way to stick to your guns, way to stick to your zone.
This one's hit the pads. No, was there a little bit of bat? Was it angling down? All the questions that had to be asked, but it'll be a leg by to close out an eventful fourth over that thankfully didn't see a cameraman go down. At the end of 4, it's 49 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Spin in the attack again, and it's just running out of options here for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. They want to get rid of these lefties before they bring on one of their 3 leggies. But all that they're doing right now is bowling off spinners. It's Prasad who's come in, and we'll see what Prasad can do to the team right now. How can he attack the Morrisville Raptors, and where does he go?
Ravindra Prasad here, left arm.
Picked up, cries of catch it, it'll land short. Never got on it, John Campbell, much to his fortune, rather. And yeah, interesting they've gone with the lefty. It seems as if he's not going to turn it a whole lot, however. Seems to be bowling a hard length and daring batters to hit him.
Yeah, it is an interesting decision. You do have a lot of leggies in this team, though.
Short again. That one did turn. Well stopped. Could be close. Should be a run out, and will be. Siobhan Griffith will go off a run out. Don't see that too often, and that's what incredible fielding will do for you. Bring in the left arm spinner, and Siobhan Griffith finds himself walking back.
Well, only 12 runs today from Trevon. Not a typical Trevon Griffith innings, but what a play in the field there by Fort Lauderdale. They're going to need to make these plays if they want to hang in this game after that start. Good job. Excellent job there by Pastano. Good throw, good stop. The stop is what made that play, and then the throw from the knees.
Yeah, 12 off 11 for Trevon Griffith, and that'll close out his stay. It's 50 for 1.
Doing, Jagan?
John Campbell just pushing, and the new man in for the Morrisville Raptors, it'll be George Baldwin. Again, the big hitting batter, the big hitting youngster. Reverse sweep, big shot from Mario behind the stumps, but won't be anything there. But how about this? It's the left arm spinner that's come in and really clamp things down.
I think it's partly what we said last innings, when you have over kind of get out of your hands.
That has turned
Whoa.
a long, long way. He's sliding it up, and we haven't seen turn like this. I don't know if it's the wicket opening up or if it's just Prasad. Picked up, cries of catch it, should be taken.
Dropped.
Will be dropped. It's Adam Khan out in the deep. He was on a knee there. He'll be disappointed. He's a sharp, sharp fielder, and it's gone in and out of the hands, and a chance put down to dismiss John Campbell.
And sometimes we can blame, we can give the fielder the benefit of the doubt that the slope here in the outfield, some players aren't used to playing fielding on here, but Adam Khan is definitely used to playing cricket in Morrisville, North Carolina. Oof. He just did stop that one, it looks like.
And add salt to injury. That is huge off the bat of John Campbell. It's in the same direction of Adam Khan, but it's bigger, it's better, it's 6 runs.
Massive shot there. I was yapping my gums when it happened, but here we go. Boom. He anticipated that spin. He got that big turn again, and he just dropped back and waited on it because it slows down when it turns like that.
That'll close out the 5th over. It's 59 for 1.
And we've got some fans there watching. Bring your chairs when you come out here. Sit on the hill, sit in the grass, bring some chairs. Seeing some faces we've seen here before. Beautiful night. And yes, while the Raptors did lose a wicket in that over, I mean, you got to be happy scoring 11 anyways. Even, you know, you lose a wicket, you score 11. There's some ice cream eaters walking
Nate,
in front of the side screen.
You were in line for some ice cream earlier. Brewster's, locally owned, and you know, one of the best ice cream places around. And again, that cricket carnival that we'll have all weekend long. Make sure you come out, you support, and you get to see some high-quality cricket. Speaking of high-quality cricket, because the righties in, we expected the leg spinners to start. It's going to be Raja to start things off. Isaiah Raja with a slip in place. Bowled him straight away. George Baldwin, he's only played one ball in minor league cricket and has gone straight through him. The Fort Lauderdale Lions, they're showing some fight.
Oof. Nice delivery there by Raja. We were asking the question earlier when the leggies were going to come in. When are you going to bowl? Are you going to bowl them earlier? And we see one here in the 6th over. Boom. Right on the leg line. Turned away just a little bit, just enough. And Baldwin is going to head back to the barn with a golden duck.
Beautiful. Game on here at Church Street Park, like it so often is under the lights. Really, no way to say that this game isn't going to go down to the wire. It's never too far out of the question. As Sanjay Stanley comes out to bat, it was a question whether he would come out. Remember, had that scary fall in the concrete earlier in the game. And so for him now, he's out there with the bat and pressure on for Sanjay Stanley. He hasn't been able to perform in the way that he's rated, Nate.
No, and it's, you know, games here tend to take different paths, and this, you know, difficult paths in the chase.
We'll get off the mark straight away. You can see Raja is putting loop onto the ball very early. He wants the flight. He's looking for turn, and there seems to be turn in this wicket, something we did not foresee when we had a look over there.
But in order to get that turn, you got to hit the wicket, and I think that one was definitely got away from him a little bit, went a little bit too full. Easy way to get off the mark there for Sanjay Stanley.
And again, this will be a really challenging innings for Sanjay Stanley, a real testament of an innings for him. He's had a couple innings where he's steered the ship, but he hasn't been able to bat the Sanjay Stanley we've seen and come to know and love. Remember, this was the under-19 vice captain just a couple of cycles ago and hasn't really seen his career progress the way we would have thought. This is the matchup, though. Leggy to a lefty. Starts in the air. It's moving away and taken. Well done. Never easy running back and made it look all so simple. And now the other opener goes, and the Raptors, they're starting to spiral down.
This is a huge wicket. We've seen Campbell light it up. 40 from 21 prior to that ball to end with 40 from 22. But that was a great catch running backwards. This is the experience in the team, in Fort Lauderdale team. That's they're going to take those catches. Those are easy for them.
Again, just take a look. It's never easy running back, but what he does so well, any youngster, he's never backpedaled. He's running, he's looking over the shoulder, and made it look simple. A well-played 40 off 22 comes to an end, and the Morrisville Raptors, they've lost 2 in the over. It's 60 for 3. Christopher Barnwell into the attack. He's got the bat in hand now and hasn't really found flow with bat. He was batting on tough wickets. So where does he go? He averages 44 in minor league cricket. What can he do? He has a strike rate of 139. On this surface, he should be good, but right now has to survive what's looking to be an incredible match-changing over from Isaiah Raja. And again, I just like the way Raja's bowling. It's aggressive. He could possibly get hit for 6 on that ball, but he's going to give himself a chance to take a wicket.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to start. Great way to start with a new batter. We know that Barnwell has to be responsible here. We know he has to be there for a while. 60 for 3, 60 runs before the 6th over is done is great, but this is a very inexperienced team after Barnwell.
Oh, staying maybe just a hint low as Sanjay Stanley will be able to get over to the striker's end and Barnwell will get off the mark. And again, now is the real key. 2 righties in, expect leg spin, really in the form of Adam Khan in the next over, you'd have to imagine.
Ryan Prasad as well.
Ryan Prasad can come in. We saw wickets taken from Ravindra Prasad, so there's options here with the right-handers. And again, you mentioned that inexperience. Sanjay Stanley is right up there with the bunch. Hit him on the pad. It looks close. Ooh, really close there. Getting on the back foot was dangerous always. We'll want to take a second look at that when we come back in the next over. But the power play's gone, and the 3 wickets have changed what this complexion of the game is. It's 61 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Spin to continue. And I just want to take a second look at that LBW. Whenever we get a chance, we could be able to pull that up. But again, what we're seeing here is an incredible fight back. Ravindra Prasad will continue. Went for 10 runs in his first over, but that run out changes the whole complexion.
And he was facing 2 lefties, and now he's got 2 righties, so we'll see a whole new flavor.
In the air, but well tucked from Barnwell. This is experience here. They'll come back for 2. Could be close. No, good running. This is good running. This is the way you keep yourself in the game. We mentioned that middle phase here at Church Street Park in the first innings. It's all about keeping wickets in hand. Well, you've lost 3. Keep yourself moving. Plenty of runs on the board. Can you keep yourself in the game and keep the likes of Abhiram Bolasetti and Ryan Wiggins and Aditya Badala in the back end? Keep them in your pocket to finish the innings off.
And the big difference there between the 5th and the 6th over, we got a wicket in the 5th over, but they still got 11 runs. 6th over only went for 2 runs.
Yeah, smart. They could push for 2. I think they'll settle because it's just gone straight to the fielder. But absolutely, like you mentioned, I think that's the difference oftentimes between runouts and when the bowler takes that wicket. It's a testament to how well the bowler's bowling versus when it is just that run out off, maybe average bowling, you would say, from Ravindra Prasad in his first over.
Yeah, even though I thought he bowled quite well for giving up as many runs as he did in that over.
6 really changes the game. It should have had another wicket. We remember was dropped. John Campbell was dropped.
True. Yeah.
So the over looks worse than probably it was. But you see drift, turn, and Sanjay Stanley does well to get 1. This is the key stage. Can the Raptors get 6 to 8 runs in this stage? They don't need a lot to go. They do that. Again, you set the game up for your big hitters later on.
Yeah, your next 10 overs, just go run a ball. And I think that this I mean, obviously the game is very easy if you do that. If you go run a ball, lose maybe 1 more wicket, very easy finish.
A little tuck. Could be close. Oh, Barnwell will get home, and the Fort Lauderdale Lions will need to take advantage of every half opportunity. That's going to be the key for them.
That, yes, but running on Pastano after the run out before,
dangerous.
That's ballsy.
Oh, they're showing plenty of grit here, the Fort Lauderdale Lions. So that slip in place. I like this. You can see plenty of drift off the hand of Prasad. This over, very different. The first over, it was, almost the quicker ones consistently. This one, letting it fly up, letting the ball do a little bit of movement in the air, and daring Sanjay Stanley to play big. And no run on offer. This is good. This is an even over, and the contest, it's anyone's game at this stage. 7 overs gone, 66 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Here we go. Isaiah Raja took 2 wickets in his first over, just gave up 2 runs as well. Can he keep this pressure going? Can he find the magical wicket of Barnwell and really open up the Raptors lineup? Really well done. They'll get a single in the end. This is, for Barnwell, the situation now for him. It's a situation you can see off the first 10 balls. You can see off really the first 20 balls, get 20 singles, similar to what we saw out of Kevin Stout, and then from there tee off.
And if you're Sanjay Stanley, you have to keep the scoreboard ticking. You got to get off strike. And I think we've talked before about Sanjay and how he tends to be more of an ODI style batter. This might suit him.
Short, unable to get real bat on it. I'll just get 1, but that's all right. Like you said, find a way to keep the scoreboard ticking. Let Barnwell feel comfortable doing this, right? I think the one thing that can hinder Barnwell's approach is if Sanjay Stanley at the other end gets bogged down, unable to rotate strike.
Right.
Then just the singles from Barnwell won't cut it. At this point, with this partnership brewing, this is okay.
Yeah, you want Barnwell to be there. You want him to be there the whole time. You want him to be there for the rest of the innings.
Just moved away. That's the length from Raja. That area with his drift, he's got it to turn in both directions. I like what I see from Isaiah Raja, and again, regardless of what's happening right now, I felt that maybe this in the first innings could have been even more effective, Nate.
Yeah, you could see him drying the ball off here. Yeah, I think you're right though. First innings, the ball's turning well. I think a big part of the ball turning well is can you get the drift? If you can get the drift, you can get the turn, and you get the drift with the revs.
Push, no run on offer. This is good bowling from Raja. What he's done is now he's moved his slip into a short third position. What does that do? Well, he's sensing Barnwell might try to tee him up. So he's just putting a fielder in place for that outside edge to fly to. Strays down the leg side, tickled well. And we'll just find 1 run, but again, from the first 3 balls, to just get 3 runs from it, it's good for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. There's not too many runs left in the tank, just 85 of them to go. But you keep this up, you just could take this game deep. How deep can the Lions take this game? Nate, it's not just about winning and losing, right? The run rate will come into play in this type of a tournament.
Well, absolutely. The run rate comes into play, but if you're the Raptors, you have to have Barnwell sticking around because he's got all the experience. So right now, run rate, not too big of a concern for them. It's getting through these Raja overs. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of tension right here. We always get a spot like this in the middle overs at Church Street Park. I absolutely love it.
Carved into the offside. That's well done. Sweeper's got work to do. Will do it. They'll come back for 2. Sanjay's got to be quick, and will get there in the end. Had a hurry, but does well to come back for 2 runs and push the scoreboard to end the 8th over at 71 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Tickle into the offside, and here we go. This is the battle now for this game. The Morrisville Raptors are just trying to find their way into this contest, back into this contest, really. It seemed like when the power play ended that this was going to be the Raptors game to run away with, and you'd have to say an incredible fight back from the Fort Lauderdale Lions.
Tremendous fight back, but we know how these chases go here. These middle overs are so important. Even with the dew, they're getting a lot of turn because, like I said before, they're getting the drift on the ball. When you get that with revolutions of the ball, and then you get the Magnus effect, the dip, and then all it has to do is catch a little of this grass.
And what I like about Prasad and his approach to Barnwell, he's been he's been quicker, he's been back of a length, but with Sanjay Stanley, he's offered a little bit more flight, and he's changed the lengths up. And again, use the quick one as a variation like this. And why is he doing that? Well, he's daring the youngster to hit him for runs. He wants Sanjay Stanley to be the aggressor and let Christopher Barnwell tick it around.
And we saw Sanjay at the end on that last ball against Raja move his feet really well. So he might be getting himself in the game right now. That was a concern, seeing it. He ran 2. We were worried about him, his health, because of the fall on the pavement.
Yeah. And he's got that elbow taped up as well. So something to watch for as we continue. The one pitched up quicker, not letting Barnwell get his bat underneath it. This contest has somehow, some way, just opened up. Again, we thought the lines were behind the 8 ball from the very beginning. And this outside edge will just find the fielder. And no overthrows to be had as well. Just 2 runs coming from the 3rd over of Ravindra Prasad. How about this? The Fort Lauderdale Lions aren't going anywhere in their minor league debut. It's 73 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Moon out at Church Street Park, and leg spin to continue. 3rd over of it. This traps Sanjay Stanley on the pad. It's high, probably angling down leg as well, but Isaiah Raja is just turning it on.
Every ball, he's a threat. He's a threat with every single ball.
Tightening the screws now, those cascade of dots to end the previous over. How does Stanley deal with it? Looking to be aggressive, no run on offer. Something's going to give here, Nate. We talked about it a lot with the Fort Lauderdale Lions. We felt there were moments where something had to give. This feels like one of those.
It does. They're getting antsy because they're pretty much, they're stuck in their crease. And you saw Sanjay trying to make something happen, moving his feet a little bit there. What do you do now if you're Raja?
I would offer some flight. I would dare Stanley to hit me for runs. Full toss, hit straight up into the air. Fielder comes underneath it, and the simplest of catches. He offered flight. Sanjay Stanley tried to go downtown, but all he could do was pick out the man in the deep, and the Fort Lauderdale Lions have wicket number 4.
Well, you were right. You called it. He gave it some flight. He missed it dead full, but Sanjay used his feet. He walked himself into a handcuff there is what he did. I think he was expecting that ball to be overpitched and flighted. Instead, it was full. It was all the way full and flighted. He walked himself right into that one.
Well, he'll have to walk himself back to the dugout now, finishing 6th off 12 as the 4th wicket comes up, 73 for 4. Rajnanan is the new man in. The Raptors looking to the left-hander. He was promoted up the batting order a few times last weekend, Nate, and yet again here today.
Yeah, he's got 347 runs in 28 matches in minor league cricket. And, it's tough to judge an East batter because he comes from the East. And you get basically, if you score at a run a ball a little bit more, that's kind of how you expect the East to go. And that's about what he goes. He goes a little bit more than a running over, 18 average. Scores a boundary of some sort every 8 or 9 balls. Right now, they don't need boundaries. They need to keep the scoreboard ticking.
And that's why Raj Anand, to me, was set in over Ryan Wiggins. He's someone who can do that. And I think it's also to neutralize the leg spinner. They know he's continuing to bowl. They know they have 2 more at their disposal. They're sending in the left-hander to cut that angle. Slip in place, however, for Raj Anand, this is a big moment. If you send Anand packing early, the Raptors will be in trouble. And keeping things tight, tightening those screws. That required run rate rather, is slowly creeping up towards 8.
The Raptors are going to need. They're going to need a 6-7 run over here. That seems like it's asking a lot.
Flighted, missed out. It was the one that moved away as well. And Isaiah Raja, you'd have to say, has changed this game and changed the outlook of it.
Not only him, but Ravendra as well. Ravendra from the other end.
Pushes and will ruin what could have been a wicket maiden to go to the break, but instead it's a single and it's a wicket. The Fort Lauderdale Lions, you would say they lost the first 6 overs of this first session, but the last 4 have been all Lions, and they're getting their teeth sunk in to the Raptors right now. 10 overs gone, 74 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Never that fast.
Well, it's always a question for this Fort Lauderdale Lions team. When would we see him? The man who led the Atlantic in all wickets last season came into bat at number 3. He played brilliantly, has scored a half century. He's now with the ball again. Kevin Stout with his first over of the day. And starts off how we closed off the 2023 season of minor league. A little bit of movement off the seam, beating the outside edge.
A little slower than Raj Anand was anticipating there. Stout is definitely a clever bowler. This Fort Lauderdale team, they look like a very good team. I have to tell you, after seeing them today, I think they do the little things really well.
Well, they were as close to the playoffs as they've ever been last season. We'll mention that after this delivery. This is a fine one. Yeah, as close to the playoffs as they've really ever been. We're buying for that 3rd spot. And with them and the Raptors kind of fell apart towards the end. The rain delays, the rain canceled games would hurt the Raptors, and Lions very nearly pushed their way past the Atlanta Lightning.
If you're Barnwell here, are you happy to see pace after that little spell there? We know how destructive Barnwell can be. What are you thinking if you're Barnwell?
Well, now I'm thinking, there's not going to be any pace on this ball.
As I say that.
The keepers come up. He's bowled 2 slower ones. He's going to bowl another one. It's going to be slow. Got to watch for your field and pick your gaps. Strays down the leg side. Gift of runs there, but this is smart from Kevin Stout and Mario Rampersad. Why is it good for the keeper to come up, especially when you bowl slower ones? Well, it keeps the batters rooted at the crease. Right now they can't use their feet to attack the ball on the full and take away what the wicket is doing or what you're able to do off the surface with your cutters and whatnot. Now they have to deal with it. And that's the key reason the keeper being up in the stumps for guys like Padala, for guys like Kevin Stout, are so effective. Slower one, just pushed into the onside. Raj wanted 2, but was sent back.
And with a bowler like Kevin Stout, it really helps to have a keeper like Mario Rampersad who can keep up to him. He's so quick. He's just quick side to side. He gets to the ball very well.
Speaking of quick, he's quick on setting it up. Took the helmet off, put it down, and is in position. So for the lefty Nanan, they're going to dare him to be the hitter. They want him to be the one to be the aggressor.
I'm starting to think that Mario, oop, there we go. Miss Field is going to let at least one score. Nope, they're going to stick to one.
That's poor. That's poor from the Fort Lauderdale Lions. You saw the reaction from Kevin Stout, just stomped in anger because you've built so much pressure. You've kept the dot ball in. You're not giving up boundaries, and you've gotten Rajanan on a strike, which seems to be the man he wants to bowl at. Now you bring back Christopher Barnwell. You gift a run. You ease some of that pressure. You're the Fort Lauderdale Lions. You know your score's under par. You have to keep yourself from committing unforced errors.
You can see them coming up again for Barnwell.
Wide on the offside, and again trying to keep it out of the outstretched arms of Christopher Barnwell.
There's those good feet again for Mario Rampersad. This is definitely a tactic specifically for Barnwell. They do not want him to free flow.
And if there's any width for Barnwell, he can hit it between long off and deep cover. There's a big gap wide of long off. So any bit of width that's full, watch the boundary. That's where you want the fuller delivery on the pads. All Barnwell can do is tick it straight back, and this is really proving to be a tight spell. Now, things can really change. We saw for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, if you're watching this game saying, why aren't the Raptors putting some more impetus on boundary hitting now? What were the Lions able to do later on? They took that one over of George Baldwin. They took him for runs, right? So this is what the Raptors are calculating. They're going to find runs in the last 5.
This makes me wonder, Brown was chased out of the attack, 21 runs to his name in the 4th.
As this one is just pushed into the offside?
Yeah, it makes me wonder if we're going to see another spell from Brown, because I thought he recovered really well with those last 2 balls of the 4th over. But right now, there's no need to do that.
Well, that'll close out the over. And just another great one. Tennis being played at Church Street Park also. Love the atmosphere here. 11 gone, 80 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Isaiah Raj is going to close out his spell here. He's just given up 8 runs, 3 wickets, and he's going to start to Christopher Barnwell. He's bowling from the other end now. Starts on the pads, and again, just on the leg side. But you can see real drift coming in from him on the Cedar Fork end of the ground.
Raj is the big star of the innings so far for Fort Lauderdale. Only 8 runs conceded, 3 wickets. Absolutely phenomenal spell. And it's from a leggy in the dew.
In the dew is indeed, and good effort out in the field. They'll cut the 2 off as well. But like you mentioned, with the dew, it's hard to grip. You can see him using that towel every single delivery, wiping the ball off, wiping his hands off, trying to get any way to grip this ball. And in the most pressure situation, in the very first game of the season, Isaiah Raja has put his hands up and he said, yep, I'm here, I'll do the job. And he's done it quite brilliantly.
And it's making us look like fools for questioning Taj Chanderpaul's choice to bat first.
Yeah, again, he's seen something in this surface that we haven't. As Nanan is unable to get away. And again, I like the idea of sending Nanan out to attack Raja. I know you want to see this over often, don't want to give up a wicket, but I feel like you can push for one, or just play with soft hands rather, and sneak your singles off. You can see the intent right there. He's looking to come down, looking to play. The lefty should be attacking the leg spinner, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we might see that if he gets on strike again here. with the final ball, if we can get a single here and get him back on strike, we might see him take a shot.
Go into the right-handed Barnwell. He's just played very safe till now. Does he change that? Nope. High elbow. Good batting. Good batting. Just pushing the ball around the ground, finding ones. And you think about when Barnwell came into bat, it was a real pressure situation because you just lost 2 quick wickets, and then John Campbell goes. Barnwell's been the one to hold it together so far tonight.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, we've seen Barnwell go big, but right now he has to be very responsible. He has done that job. Let's see if Rajanan goes after Raja here with the final ball.
Look for the big sweep. It's beaten everybody, including Mario Rampersad. They'll go for 1 and just settle for it. But even then, a great spell will come to an end for Isaiah Raja. That's given us buys, and 4 overs go. And he's taken 3 wickets and given up just 11 runs. Take a bow, Isaiah Raja. 12 overs gone. It's 84 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You see that man on the screen, Christopher Barnwell. He'll be the non-strikers in to start this over of Kevin Stout. Barnwell's been in there for 18 deliveries, and he's just setting this game up. Slower one will be a leg by as they scamper through. Nate, this required run rate has just started to skyrocket a little bit. We're getting towards 9 now needed per over. Doesn't sound like a lot, but from where it was after 6, you would have to say that this is some kind of work from the Fort Lauderdale Lions.
If you can go into the last 2-3 overs with this as the required run rate, it should be a win. But the problem is the trend. It gets a little bit. The gap gets a little bit bigger every single over.
It does.
And if you don't stop the bleeding, you're soon going to be at 11 runs and over required. And we don't want to see that if you're the Raptors.
With on offer, really for the first time, gets through cover. And in a misfield. It was casual. It was really casual from Isaiah Raja. Went down with one hand. And the Lions, those, like we mentioned, unforced errors coming back to bite them. 4 runs for Barnwell and the Raptors.
Finally, a boundary for the Raptors. They have to be relieved about that. I don't think they've sent one to the boundary since the 6th over or so. Or actually since the 5th over, I believe. Oof, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. They've actually done a pretty good job in the field. We've seen it probably make 3 mistakes, I think, from Fort Lauderdale in the field. It's cost them probably about 11 runs.
Looking in that same region, we'll just find 1 this time. And I think that, again, that misfield just goes back to how casual Raja was. He's moving very, very quickly, trying to stop, and then going down with one hand rather than getting your body down, getting your hands down. For someone as experienced as Isaiah Raja, just really disappointing.
Especially because he's having such a great game.
Yeah.
You want to see him continue that. Well, if you're him, if you're his teammates, you want to see a guy continue that.
Well, now for the first time, we're seeing Mario Rampersad up for Rajanan. Pushed out wide. Oh, well played. Really well played. He's carved it out nicely, and it's going to trickle to the boundary rope. It'll be 4 runs, and that's elegantly played. He's pierced the gap there at short third.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, they sent another fielder out to the leg side boundary as well just before that, which was interesting with the location of that ball. I think they were trying to get him to play across himself, to go big on the leg side there. The leg side is the short side when you're batting from this southern end of the ground.
Let's take a second look at this again. It's pushed out wide, and it's just how late he's played that. Under his eyes, carving it. Take a look what happens next. Try to go out wide again, but just ended up giving up an extra run there.
He keeps missing his line when the keeper's up. We've seen Stout miss his line an awful lot. It's a great tactic, but he keeps missing his line.
Yeah, you see that wide there, clearly over. What I want to see from Stout almost is changing the angle up, because third man and point are inside the ring. Change the angle like that we saw for Trevin Griffith. He played one shot there, and they switched it. Slower one, met with the sweep, met in the gap. And this is the over that we were talking about. What's the tee off going to be? It's to the man who's led the Atlantic in 2023 in wickets. They're taking on Kevin Stout, and taking him on beautifully.
And I think a part of this is now that was, I don't think that was a bad ball, but that's what they were trying, I think, to get Rajanan to do earlier. But he found that gap. It was there this time. He put it right over Adam Khan, who was in the circle on that ball.
Yeah, and pressure now on Kevin Stout and the Fort Lauderdale Lions for the first time in quite a bit, really since the power play. It's now all back on to the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Where do they go? How does Kevin Stout respond now? 3 boundaries have come off this over. Again carved nicely, and a big cheer from the Morrisville faithful as this one will trickle on. It'll be just a couple of runs, but much valued runs to close out the 13th over. As the 100 comes on the board, it's 101 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, you love to see this, the next generation of cricketers and their families hanging out at Church Street Park watching the superstars of today. How many of them were at Major League Cricket? You can see the Orcas represented, the Texas Super Kings as well. So good to see this.
Yeah, the Orcas like to claim that they're America's team, and one of the reasons is they're very generous with handing out their merch.
Here we go, Adam Khan, one of the next superstars. Misses the run-up straight away, and this is another leggy, so the experiment here is going to have to be tight. Adam Khan doesn't have any time to really get into the game. This is the 14th over. He's operating with the slip, and the intent from Barnwell seems to be he wants to go down the ground. Starts on the money there. Good length to operate on from Adam Khan.
Now this is an interesting call. We talked, Aman and I talked in the break a little bit. Who are they going to go with? Are they going to go with Ryan Prasad? Are they going to go with Adam Khan? Ryan Prasad with more experience. He has played in the CPL.
Adam Khan, though, he's been up the ranks of USA Cricket, as this too is brilliantly taken.
Yeah, we've seen Adam Khan pushing for a spot in the U19 team in the past.
Yep.
I think, though, it is curious. They just gave up 20 runs, and then they go with a younger player instead of the more experienced Ryan Prasad. We've seen every time a big over has happened, we've seen him go with experience.
And I think it's just a testament to Adam Khan and his development. You can see he hasn't missed his length at all. You know, your worry about bringing in the young leggy is, you know, does he miss? Does he miss short? Does he gift a full toss? He's been on a length, on a money, with a good place on the stumps as well. So this is a fabulous start. Right there, he's not letting up, and you go to the experience because you expect that they are going to be the ones that can get off early, can bowl the variations. Adam Khan is showing, hey, I might be a young man, but I can do it too.
It's a difficult role being a youngster as a leggy, because leggies, sometimes the situation doesn't call for you to get your full quota for the game.
This one was just a touch shorter. Barnwell's found a field around the deep for just 1. This is a great over, just 3 runs with a ball to spare. And for Adam Khan, after that drop of John Campbell, would have been happy to see him gone, but would have really liked to see this go well for him, just to get himself back in amongst the game.
Now he's going to go around. He's going to bowl from around to the lefty. But yeah, as I was saying, it's difficult enough as a leggy. You don't always get your quota. The situation doesn't always call for it. And when you're young, you also don't always get your quota. So it's great to see him in this situation.
Ticked into Theon's side, and we'll pick up a single. Good fight back here from Adam Khan and the Lions. Just 4 runs coming off the 14th over. 105 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Pestano back into the attack with the ball in hand. We saw him have a really good adjustment to the left-handers in his opening stint. Now in the back end of the innings, there's 6 overs left, 48 runs needed. So their required run rate is just 8. But the pressure of these bowlers could prove to be troublesome. Quick single on the way, could push for 2. Barnwell wants to strike here.
Both of these players, Barnwell and Rajanan, lots of experience in the Eastern Division. We've seen some amazing teams. Barnwell was on that 2021 Empire State Titans team, one of the most fun teams
to that
watch.
team, aren't you, Nate?
I loved watching that team. There were so many studs on that team, so many big performers on that
Trevon
team.
Griffith was on that team.
Trevon was on that team. It was just loaded. We saw the big 6 to the tennis court.
Bhaskar Yadram on that team hit it to the tennis courts you saw earlier. Churchill Park is just the home of so many memories for cricket in the United States, and this is brilliant to have minor league cricket here with the community aspect of it as well. This one's short. This is a season presented by Yash Technologies, and again, minor league cricket with just how good it's been for the first 3 years, now into the 4th year. You can see the quality, the standard is always being elevated now. The full league is now on turf wickets.
How good is the quality in this league? I would say it's more than you think.
Well, I saw a comment on Instagram, as you see this little family over there. I saw a comment on Instagram, someone saying that they liked minor league cricket more than they enjoyed major league cricket. I was happy to see that. Minor league cricket is so big for our domestic structure and leads these players to the major leagues. And you even think about the Harmeet Singhs and the Saurabh Netravalkars, the guys of Hassan Khan's caliber, Mohammad Mohsin. They're all minor league products. They all really refined themselves and grew through minor league and become superstars in their own right, now playing for Team USA and their franchises around the world.
I love that comment, by the way.
Pestano's been good in this over. They want 2 here, and they'll get it, the Raptors. And
pretty easily there, getting 2.
Yeah, even with that, though, you've only seen the 4 runs off this over through the 3 deliveries. So the Raptors, even without scoring boundaries, still at the halfway point of this over, are still on track for those 8 runs.
Yeah, keeping it at 8 and over here, 109 for 4. This is fine. They're in a good spot right now.
And this length, it's a nice hard length, especially with long off inside the ring. It's a mid-off now, so they're daring Christopher Barnwell to stay back in his crease and push it over the top of long off with the extra bounce that you're seeing Pestano get. They're doing the same thing for the left-handed Nanan. They're angling everything in, daring him to open himself over the offside. It's a real wicket-taking option and really aggressive. Love the captaincy and the execution from the Lions.
At the same time, this plan comes with a little bit of a risk for a wide from Pestano, as we've seen.
Fuller in length, driven nicely, but well done in the field. Oh, that throw was wayward, and there was no one there to back up inside the ring. Gifting the Raptors runs here. Can't be affording that.
That's their 4th mistake in the field today. Rough one after that. Good over from Pestano.
And again, there was the one delivery that was flighted up. I was going to say I think Rajanan's actually missed out here because it's his one opportunity to go over the offside. It was a great effort in the field. What he's done by just throwing it away is just rewarding Nanan. Say, okay, I'll give you 1. Pestano's bowled so well. And the plan is so sound, but this time gets 2 straight. It'll beat the field around the deep mid-wicket. and Christopher Barnwell will close out what was looking to be a great over for the Lions with the boundary.
Terrific shot there. Christopher Barnwell off the hip. Watch him pivot right here. Back a length, boom. Great shot.
Great shot indeed to close out this over here. After 15, it's 115 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Last 5 overs, 38 runs required. The Morrisville Raptors, the equation's kind of simple. It's Christopher Barnwell, but who's left to bowl here for the Lions, Nate?
Well, Ravindra Prasad still has an over left. He's allowed 17 runs. He hasn't taken a wicket, but my goodness, has he been memorable. He's been very good. Pistano has one more over to go as well.
It's Adam Khan now, who again has just been on his length so well, and what he's doing to Raj Anand here is saying, okay, I see that you want to sweep. I'm pulling my length and I'm pushing it well outside, letting it spin from there. Sweep me from this and I'll gift you the boundary. Use of the feet, just go down the ground for 1, and this is the real task, and what I'm really interested in right now, Barnwell is on strike. He's looked to be a little bit more aggressive. He's picked his spots well. Does he start to try to change it up, or is he going to just play that single game right now?
And if Khan emerges from this over, with a really solid over, do you bring him back in the 18th over? That's a good question to ask too.
Legging the 18th wouldn't be unheard of, but dangerous, and this one will find the inside half of the bat. But the way Adam Khan is bowling, you couldn't fault it. You mentioned the overs that are left. Over from Brian Gale. Achilles Brown seems out of the question at this point. Ravindra Prasad's been great, and Kevin Stout's got an over. He was expensive in his last. There are plenty of options for Dajnaran Chanderpaul here. Where do you go? Adam Khan's been brilliant.
I don't think
How does he close this over? Swept. And we'll just find the fielder out in the deep. Again, it's the line in which Adam Khan is bowling. He's keeping it outside the arc of the lefty.
It's looking very, very good here. I think we're going to see Kevin Stout get his quota before the game's done. He's already bowled 2. I think we're going to see a little bit of different bowling from Kevin Stout. Like, as I mentioned before, I think he's missing his mark when the keeper keeps up today. I don't know if we'll see too much more of that.
Well, here we go with the field. Long on and long off with a sweeper, deep mid, and a deep backward square. Tossed up and really on a Yorker length. Barnwell couldn't get underneath it. You can see him signal for the dip. Brilliant from Adam Khan.
Tremendous bowling from Adam Khan, from both of the leggies who have gotten the ball today, Isaiah Raja and Adam Khan. Fort Lauderdale might wish they just bowled Ryan Prasad as well, just to get 12 whole overs of leg spin.
Short, but it stayed low. Bailed out, you'd have to say, from Adam Khan, but an over that is fantastic. Just 4 runs coming from it, and the net run rate back above 8. It's 119 for 4 after 16.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Left arm spin to continue here. It's Ravindra Prasad, who's back into the attack. He's got a deep cover, a long off, a long on, a deep mid wicket as well. Christopher Barnwell has been unable to attack him, and Nate, you said it in the break, it's his accuracy, how quick he's been, the length in which he's bowling. That's what's been his keys here. He can't get too full. He gets full, Barnwell goes downtown. Struck powerfully, but on that length, he's just going to find 1.
Yeah, Ravindra will take that. Anybody will take one from Christopher Barnwell.
How does Raj Anand attack Prasad now is a big question, because the shot that he's like to play is the big sweep. That's the shot we've seen. Does he look to play those glances past third man? We see fine leg now coming to that third man position inside the ring, but if you get too wide, if you're Prasad, you're going to gift a boundary there. In the air, it'll be short of the fielder. And Prasad, you can see just wanting to be very straight and onto stumps.
Nice little punch there from Rajananand. I think that's exactly what he was trying to do. Just get it over the circle. And yeah, that was his first ball against Prasad, against Ravindra Prasad this inning. So I was curious to see how it would go. He did a great job.
Barnwell wanted to go big, but was hit high on the bat. You mentioned the lengths and the accuracy. This is what we're talking about. Back of a length, daring and quick. This is good bowling.
He's a really clever bowler, isn't he? He's got just enough variations, and he's looking like every ball he treats differently.
Use of the feet from Nanan, but no run available. Quick work. Nearly cost Nanan his wicket there.
We mentioned how important the Barnwell wicket is to this Raptors team. Rajananand, nobody wants to see him go right now either after 22 balls getting his eye in.
Yeah, it seems to be tougher out there than we anticipated it to be, and credit to the Fort Lauderdale Lions. They've bowled very, very tight. Hit straight, very, very straight. We'll just get one. However, you can see wanting the sweep, but not finding the line to do it.
Yeah, getting away with it a little bit there, fighting it off, fighting it right up the middle. Right back at the bowler.
Barnwell has looked to play big shots in this particular over. He's been struggling with the back of a length as he camp on the back foot. Finally gets the one full, but the little bit of drift undoes him. And they'll only be able to get one. He's going to feel like he's missed out. And another good over for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Just 5 runs coming from it. 17 gone, 124 for 4. Well, those are the bowling calls. You mentioned the options. I want you to look at the man at the very top, Clinton Pestano. You'd imagine he's going to bowl, and he would bowl another over. 3 for 25, really just the one over that went wrong for him, really just off 2 deliveries. He's just pulled up getting that last delivery, Nate. It seems like he was grabbing the back of his leg towards his hamstring, his calf area, and he's still over there getting treatment done. It seems like he's going to be unable to bowl an over. Where do you go? If Pestano can't bowl, who are you looking at to fill in?
Well, this is interesting. I think they might have gone with Kevin Stout. I think you got to go with Kevin Stout. With his experience, I think he has to get 2 overs here. Bring him in for the 18th, bring him in for the 20th. The big question, I think, is the 19th. What do you do there? And that's a tough one. I mean, do you go back to Adam Khan? Do you put Adam Khan in a difficult spot like that? I don't think you do. I think you might turn back to Brian Gale.
Brian Gale, interesting question. That for Brian Gale, did bowl well in his 1 over, only giving up, well, gave up 12 runs, but I don't think Brian Gale's the option there, Nate.
I don't think so.
I reckon that you're looking at Kevin Stout as 1.
I think you're definitely looking at Kevin Stout as 1.
And Adam Kahn's bowled so well. I think this is the over to really test it. If Adam Kahn goes through this over
there well,
I don't think you go to Brian Gale because he's given up 12 runs.
Now you can't get Kevin Stout his quota today. Now you can't if Adam Khan bowls here, which he is.
And Barnwell's searching for these runs now. He's searching for the big hits. They'll only get 1. At some point, the Raptors have to turn it on. The required run rate has moved close to 10. Now, there needs to be a boundary, and the big over has to come. There's plenty of wickets in hand, Nate. At some point, You've got to go big or go home.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think go for it here if you're the Raptors. You need almost 10 and over right now thanks to a tidy over last couple.
Nanan picks it up. He's picked it into the gap. It won't have the legs to carry, and they'll only get one. Again, one of the real shots of liking, but hasn't found enough of it. That's, again, with 6 wickets in hand, the Raptors don't want to lose this game because they didn't find a way to get a boundary late.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to lose like that.
Makes some room, and Adam Khan follows him brilliantly. Every time Barnwell is set up for a big shot, all he's found to Adam Khan is the bottom end of the bat, and it's because of the dip Adam Khan is getting, the control he's displaying right now. This is really brilliant.
I don't know if Fort Lauderdale are getting lucky or if Morrisville is, because the last 6 or so attempts from Christopher Barnwell have been lusty blows that he's just barely caught the ball on, dragged around for a single here and there. You don't see a lot of mishits from Barnwell.
I think Nanan's got to use his feet here, come down the track. Stays planted, goes over, covers, and he's picked a gap. The one time he's over pitched at Adam Khan, he's been punished, and the much needed boundary has come up for the Morrisville Raptors.
And that is Adam Kahn's first boundary conceded on his 4th ball of his 3rd over. This is great bowling from Adam Khan, but that was just what the doctor ordered for Raj Nanan. This is exactly what the Raptors need.
Again, just too full. That was the one time he got full and wide, and with sweeper very square, it was always going to find the rope. Again, that's not a bad line to bowl. It was just the length. He's got to pull that length back. Here, Adam Khan. 2 balls to go in this over. Hit up into the air. Call of catch it. And will take it in the end. Did well. A little bit of a bobble, but ends up with it in his hands. And Rajanan, it's 4 and gone. And Adam Khan gets a much-deserved wicket.
Good catch there at the end of it all. But yeah, oh man, yep, just skied that one up. What a ball there from Adam Khan after over pitching it on a wider line to the lefty batter, puts it right in his lap, and Rajanan skies it into the fielder's lap.
He goes 26 off 26. It's now 131 for 5. New man in for the Morrisville Raptors. It's Ryan Wiggins, who really was the pick of the batters down in Atlanta on tough conditions, would come in and find ways to score quickly. That's the name of the game here, but he's got to do it against a leg spinner who's beaming with confidence.
And we know what Ryan is capable of. We know he can go big and he can go quickly. Behind him, there's a couple of other guys who can too, so there's no reason here not to start out of your shoes.
Yeah, 100%, and I don't expect him not to. He might just see this one off, but he's got a 44 high score. It came last season as a part of the Morrisville Raptors after a year away from the team. He came back in and was really good up top the order. This season, different role. He's been given a finisher role, and you pair him with Abhiram Bolasetti and Aditya Badala down low. Makes for a good close. Tucked into the onside. That's a good way to close out the over. An over that just produced 8 runs for the Morrisville Raptors, and now that required run rate has skied close to 10. Adam Khan, what a spell he's had. 16 runs. He's taken the 1 wicket. It's 132 for 5.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Ryan Wiggins will remain on strike after taking that single. For those of you just tuning in, it's 21 off 12. Plenty of wickets in hand for the Morrisville Raptors. And with Christopher Barnwell out there in the middle, you'll say advantage Raptors, but with this man back with the ball, Pastano, he's been so good all day. The Lions well within this contest.
And it answers the difficult question of how they're going to finish the bowling. Well, Pastano's still in the game. He's ready to go. He's worked out whatever was bothering him last over, and this is the obvious choice. Give the ball to him. Let's see how he does. He's been bowling great with that shorter length, with the back of length delivery. See where he goes.
Mid-off up in the ring. Hit straight, but straight to mid-off. Again, mid-off is up in the ring. If you want to get it in that region, you've got to go aerial, or you've got to pick a very narrow gap, straight or in between, cover inside the ring, and that mid-off fielder.
If you're Wiggins here, do you think he's going to feel relaxed enough to just go for it, to try to get the runs on the board that they need right now?
I believe so. Very experienced campaigner. Hits it in the air, climbed the short one well. The fielder, it spun on him. He's done well to keep it ahead of him. And they'll just be able to get one run. After all of that, they'll just find one. Barnwell's upset. Barnwell was, I think, just upset with Ryan, how slow he was off the mark to take that second.
I think Barnwell will be happy, I think, maybe to face this next ball too. But I think Ryan Wiggins may have assumed that Barnwell was gonna want to keep strike. Gonna want to take strike. You've only got a few balls left. You've only got 10 balls left.
20 off 10. Long on is back. Hit in that region, but long gone can only watch it sail over him. It's a meaty boundary. It's the length that's different, and Christopher Barnwell makes them pay.
Oh man, this is what we said. We said Barnwell needs to be in the middle at the end, and he's here. This is what he's here for, to finish the game. This should be quick work for him based on his pedigree, based on his ability. And look at that. He just mashed that. I wanted to see where that went in the parking lot. It actually split between a couple of cars. But there's some people out there unwisely parking this close.
He's hit a cop car here at Church Street Park before. That was when he scored 100 as part of the Empire State Titans. If you are Pastano, pull the length back. That's far too easy for Christopher Barnwell. That's not where your field is set. Back of a length, angling in. That's where he's been so dangerous all day. Pitched up again and over the top of mid-off. He's going to be able to keep it to just a couple of runs, but again, not the area you want to bowl. He's pitched it up, he's given width, and he's made it easy.
Yeah, good angle to the ball by the fielder there, but 2 runs is good news for the Raptors right now because it brings Barnwell right back on strike.
And makes it just 12 off 8, a much more doable equation, not as daunting as if you were able to come away with just a couple of singles. That 6 has just changed the way this game is proceeding. Pulled. Just going to be 1 out into the deep. That's the length. I don't know why he's changed. Unforced errors. Unforced errors. They kill you in every sport. And in this game right now, the Fort Lauderdale Lions have done this consistently throughout the innings, turning 1s into 2s.
Ever since I praised their ability to do the little things right, they've made a lot of little mistakes like this. You can't bring Barnwell back on strike here. I think you have to go maybe even a little bit shorter even to Barnwell because he's batted well off the hip like that today.
I think it's just the line on that delivery. If that delivery is on his hip, it's going for 4. But from that line, I don't mind the length. It's only going to be 1 run, which is a win for the Lions. Oh, well watched. He saw Barnwell making room for himself, slowed it down, pushed it out wide, but a good over for the Morrisville Raptors. And do we have any doubts that this match was going to the very end? It's Church Street under the lights, as June Nathaniel likes to say, Friday night lights. 10 from the last.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Leggy in the 20th. I like this call. We haven't seen a 10-run over off a leg spinner today. They haven't found many runs off of Adam Kahn, and where they found runs is pace on the ball. I like this move from the Lions. Nice and aggressive from Dudgeon Ryan on the ball. Ryan Wiggins on strike, 10 to go. And this is why. This is why there's no chance to run a bye. It's all having to come off the bat. 10 from 5 now.
We've had some very economical leg spin today, and this is what they're counting on. So if he can hit his line.
Bat on ball. Has he got enough of it? Yes, just enough to clear the fielder. Hasn't been hit for many runs today. And in the final over, Ryan Wiggins connects a slog sweep and puts the Raptors well ahead of the contest.
Just a run of ball needed now. Oh my goodness, what a good shot there by Ryan Wiggins. That's not a terrible ball. That is definitely not a bad ball. Wiggins just put it away.
Well, this call here is looking in jeopardy for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. They've come back well. How does Adam respond? Hit straight down the ground. Should just be one. Barnwell wanted 2, but Ryan says no. 3 from 3. Drama. Could we expect anything different coming back to Church Street Park?
What a great welcome to the season here at Church Street Park at the Morrisville Cricket Carnival. This is exactly what you want to see. This is what we see so often here.
Again, it's not a lot left. It's just 3 from 3. You just need to find singles off of Adam Kahn. What Adam needs to find is a wicket, you'd have to say. You get the wicket of Barnwell and a new batter in. That's how you change the complexion.
Get the wicket of Barnwell, and we're saying those 2 magic words that we often say here, super over.
Hit straight. It's hit Adam straight in the foot. Might have saved 3 runs there with how firmly that was struck.
Saved the game, I think, right there. Still 2 needed. They still need to get those runs off the bat. As you said before, going with Adam Kahn makes the Raptors finish this game with the bat.
Well, Ryan Wiggins has played the slog sweep 3 of 3 facing Adam Kahn in this over. Dudgeon Ryan Chanderpaul is just having a chat to his bowler now, and I'm curious to see what is the idea. They've set with someone inside the ring on the leg side, so not letting him tuck it in. Gonna dare him to go over the top. Hits it. It's gone straight up. Should be taken. And is. It's a twist in the tail. This game is not over. It's 2 from the last because Adam Kahn has delivered the goods.
And now a new batter's going to have to come in with 1 run needed off of 1 ball, and leg spinners have been dominating this game, or this innings at least. Terrific job by Adam Kahn, not giving in to the pressure. Youngster here who has had to really earn his chances in this league over the last few years.
Well, there you go. Ryan Wiggins goes 9 off 7, 151 for 6.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
In short mid-wicket to neutralize the little nudge into the onside. He set up for that slog sweep, and Ryan Wiggins just said, okay, I'm going to try it. It just felt like there was a miss there. But all of this, these X's and O's, we can talk about them later. Right now, it's 2 from 1, and it's Abidam Bolasetti who has himself a chance in the middle. These two have played a lot of youth cricket together, would know each other quite well, and have had differing minor league careers, at times peaking, at times faltering. But Abidam with the bat, this has been his bread and butter. He looked good last week in Atlanta. What is the thought process for you if you're Abidam Bolasetti?
Well, you just got to put the bat on the ball and run. You just got to go.
Are you looking big? Are you looking to hit a 6? Are you looking to pick a gap?
If I'm Abidam Bolasetti, I'm probably looking big because that's the way that he's thinking. I think he's just going to take it on. I think he has to free his mind, live in the moment, react, and go. You only need 2 runs.
Well, here you go. He's had a chat with Christopher Barnwell. Field the same as it was that previous delivery. What does Adam Kahn have? Bat on ball. And it's gone through. Abhiram Bolasetti's delivered the goods because they'll come back for 2, and the Morrisville Raptors will clinch it. The big fist pump from Bolasetti. He takes off the helmet. The crowd is loving it because that young man on your screen, he's delivered a win at home for the Morrisville Raptors.
And I said you got to just live in the moment. You got to react. You got to go with what you get. And he did that, and he's living in the moment right now, celebrating this victory. What a great job by the young man, Abhiram Bolasetti. How many times have we seen him come up big in big moments, or be willing to come up big in big moments, putting his hand up, taking the ball, taking the bat? When the game is on the line, we see it from him so often, and this is building a very good cricketer. Moments like this in minor league cricket, I love to see this. I love that Abhiram Bolasetti, he was raised here. He played his youth cricket here, and he's winning games for the Morrisville Raptors in minor league cricket. I want to see this young man drafted into Major League Cricket as a U23.
Well, Adam Khan, don't forget about him. How good was he in that final over? He's gotten a lot of applause from the entire Raptors dugout there. He's fought valiantly in this game. But how about this? Take a look at that batting card there. It was started by John Campbell, who had 40 off 22. The run out of Trevin Griffith changed this game. Christopher Barnwell hung in there forever. 45 off 42. Rajanan chipped in with his 26 from 26. Ryan Wiggins with a couple of boundaries himself. But Abhiram Bolasetti, it's 2 off 1, and maybe the biggest 2 runs he's had this season. The Morrisville Raptors proved victorious.
Amazing game, tremendous game. This is a Church Street Park style of game. This is a Morrisville Raptors game. I love this. Here you go, Clinton Bastano. He was excellent with his control, with his shorter deliveries. Achilles Brown had that rough over, but he recovered at the end. We were wondering if he would get back in. He didn't get back in. Ravindra, he was a big part of this story. Isaiah Raja was an absolute phenom in this game. Kevin Stout only bowled a couple. And Adam Khan, what an emerging game for him. He had a tremendous game with 2 wickets, the youngster, bowling in the death as a leg spinner under the lights with the dew.
Brilliant game here, and it's just day 1 of 3 here at Church Street Park. Thank you guys so much for joining us. The Morrisville Raptors have delivered a heart-pounding victory, but we'll be back tomorrow, same time here on the East Coast, where the Baltimore Royals will take on those very Fort Lauderdale Lions. We thank you so much for joining us in the park, joining our YouTube stream. For Nate Hayes, for our entire broadcast crew headed by Babar Beg, we appreciate you for joining. I'm Aman Patel signing off and saying see you next time. This will fly past third. He was in the ring. It's intentionally played in that direction. Short again. Big shout just from Pestano. Griffith wants a walk. Angle in the air, but away from the fielders. That's brilliantly played off the bat of John Campbell. The struggles in Atlanta haven't followed him here to Morrisville. He's getting things going. And out again, cries of catch it again, but away from the fielder, and it's deja vu as that cone takes a beating. Look for the big sweep. Big shout says no. Nate pitched up. No shot, big shout as it strays down the leg side, but that's the area you want to be if you're passing. Now the Lions return the favor.
I went back and took a look.
Don't think it's come off with a bat of
Trevor from him on the last ball.
Well done there. I think it's come off the body. It's the running celebration.
Today?
No ball again, but it doesn't matter. Everyone, we'll talk about how big that was. Kyle Lobenhofer there on camera needs to watch out because that's going straight to him. Free hit again. And sent again. This is big and beautiful. And another big boundary. Helped into the offside, carved away. And will find himself 4 runs there. Change of angle and a touch of fortune for Achilles Brown. John Campbell. Short again. That one did turn. Well stopped. Could be close. Should be a run out and will be. Trevon Griffith will go off a run out. Don't see that too often. Picked up. Cries of catch it. Should be taken.
Dropped.
Will be dropped. It's Adam Khan out in the deep. He was on a knee there. He'll be disappointed. He's a sharp fielder, and it's gone in and out.
Yapping my gums when it happened, but here we go. Boom. He anticipated that spin. He got that big turn again, and he just dropped back and waited on it because it slows down when it turns like that.
Bowled him straight away. George Baldwin, he's only played one ball in minor league cricket and has gone straight through him. The Fort Lauderdale Lions, they're showing some fight. This is the matchup though, leggy to a lefty. Starts in the air, it's moving away and taken. Well done, never easy running back and made it look all so simple, and now with the bunch. Hit him on the pad, it looks close. Ooh.
Very easy finish.
A little tuck, could be close. Ooh, Barnwell will get home, and the Fort Lauderdale line.
Love it.
Carved into the offside, that's well done. Sweeper's got work to do, will do it. They'll come back for two. Sanjay's got to be quick and go over of it. Traps Sanjay Stanley on runs. Full toss, hits straight up into the air. Fielder comes underneath it, and the simplest of catches. He offered flight. Sanjay Stanley tried to go downtown, but all he could do was pick up of the day. And starts off how we closed off the 20.
I'm starting to think that Mario, oh, there we go. Miss Field is going to let at least one score. Nope, they're going to stick to one.
Width on offer, really for the first time, gets through cover. And oh, in a misfield, it was casual. It was really casual from Isaiah Raja. Went down with one hand. Pushed out wide. Oh, well played, really well played. He's carved it out nicely, and it's going to trickle to the boundary rope. It'll be 4 runs. Slower one, met with the sweep, met in the gap. And this is the over that we were talking about. What's the tee off going to be? It's to the man who's led the Atlantic. And the plan is so sound, but this time gets 2 straight. It'll beat the fielder around the deep mid wicket. And Christopher, short, but it stayed low. Bailed out, you'd have to say, from Adam.
Differently.
Use of the feet from Nanan, but no run available. Quick work. And Barnwell's searching for these runs now. He's searching for the big hits. They'll only get one. At some point, the Raptors track stays planted, goes over, covers, and he's picked a gap. The one time he's over pitched at Adam Khan, he's been punished, and the much-needed boundary has come up for the Morrisville Raptors.
And that is
tucked into the onside. That's a good way to close out the over. An over that just produced 8 runs for the Morrisville Raptors. Hits it in the air, climbed the short one well. The fielder, it spun on him. He's done well to keep it ahead of him. And they'll just be able to hit in that region, but Long Gone can only watch it sail over him. It's a meaty boundary. It's the length that's different, and Christopher Barnwell makes them pay. Pulled. Just gonna be 1 out into the deep. That's the length. I don't know why he's changed. Unforced errors.
His line.
Bat on ball. Has he got enough of it? Yes, just enough to clear the fielder. Hasn't been hit for many runs today, and in the final over, hit straight down the ground. Should just be 1. Barnwell hit straight. It's hit Adams straight in the foot. Might have saved 3 runs there with how firmly that was struck over the top. Hits it. It's gone straight up. Should be taken. And is. It's a twist in the tail. This game is not over. It's 2 from the last because Adam Khan has delivered the good. Bat on ball. And it's gone through. Abhiram Bola said he's delivered the goods because they'll come back for 2. And the Morrisville Raptors. Bat on ball. And it's gone through.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.